Let everybody hear how he harasses devs. See,
Yeah, absolutely.
He's one of those.
Fuzzy is one of those toxic ones, isn't he? All right, everybody, welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast, episode number 98. Thanks to the chat for being here. Nice and early piling in here. We already got, I think, 17 people here waiting for the show. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you so much. Like I said, this is episode 98, so only 2 away from 100.
Wow.
It's insane. I said it's crazy. I wonder one day. I wonder if we'll ever even hit 100. You know, will it work out? You know what I mean? And here we are, 2 weeks away, and gotta thank
Now,
this panel as well.
If you count all the rest of your shows, this is actually show number 850.
Maybe so. You know, we've had what episode are we on of PM in the PM, Pong?
Oh, what are we on? 60 something, I think, aren't we?
No,
Already?
not
No,
30 something.
wow.
No. FSP, we were on like around 26, and then I think like Fun Pop, we were in the 60s, I think. Something.
No, we had, I think
50s.
it was like 2 weeks after a year, so we had like 56 episodes.
Your last episode was 55.
55. Okay.
FSP is 27. PM in the PM is 34.
Right. Okay. Wow, you're just on top of it.
Well, all you have to do is go to your
Yeah.
YouTube.
Just shy of 800.
And I make the thumbnails, so and the events.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's game streams and random shows and stuff we do too. So it's been a crazy 2 years actually. We just had the 2-year anniversary of the channel, apparently, according to YouTube.
Wow.
It popped up. So
According, I mean that's facts.
I guess I don't know, like I don't even know where to see like when you started it, but like I saw this thing is like happy anniversary like on YouTube Studio, you know, and I was like, oh, I guess
Go to your about page. It tells you July 14th, 2020.
what the fuck is so yeah, we have a very special guest here today, guys. Somebody that I've gotten to know really well in the community from early on when I first started this. Who is that Pong typing? Are you typing like on a big ass mechanical keyboard?
No.
That's not
You can never hear my typing. I am typing, but you can never hear my typing.
Okay. Somebody's like working like 9 to 5, like a Dolly Parton like type facility or something, and it's like anyway. Yeah. So
How was that?
This guy early on got to know him very well. It was very nice to have me on his channel. I believe like a couple times. He's been on here, and one of the best people in the community. Has been in podcasting and games journalism for years and years. I mean, pretty much like, geez,
centuries.
Yeah, I mean, he goes back before the days of video games. I mean, he was doing board game podcasts before there was video game podcasts. He was just talking fireside chats around a real fire, and he got people in the neighborhood around campsites and recorded it on cassette tapes and stuff. You know, this is Mike Mullis. What's up, Mike from Next Level Gaming? How you doing, man?
What is? Hang on a second.
Yeah. You're one of the OGs, man, to go back that far. I heard about like you were at the first E3.
Century.
It wasn't even called E3, it was called E.
Jesus.
Maybe it was called A.
Well,
And people were like, what's electronics?
Oh, I guess E stands for something. Never mind.
Electronics. What is that? Welcome to the show, Mike.
am I?
Yeah, you're very. I've been to have somebody
So
like that's been
far,
around for so long.
So far.
I mean, I've read about you in the history
old man.
books, and it's great to see you here face to
Wait,
face.
you read a book?
I tried.
Well,
it was a picture book. It just had.
it was a big. I was just.
It just
about
had
to
a bunch
say,
of
it had
pictures of
nice
Mike,
big pictures.
you know.
Yes. What's going on, guys? Good to be back. I have. It's been too long. It's been too long since I've seen you guys and Pong's smiling face and been hanging out with you guys. And yes, you were we had you on pretty early when you came around, and you're actually in our current channel trailer because you were on our the video game awards show where they announced Perfect Dark, and we all went nuts.
Yeah. Oof, that was a good announcement.
That was a good one.
Perfect
that was a
Dark
good
was
announcement.
awesome. Yeah.
It's a shame that the game is in hell, but it's a good announcement.
Yeah.
It was a great announcement.
We'll see it sometime. We'll see it sometime. Maybe you know, you've been at this for about 20 years, so maybe before you're done in the next 20, maybe we'll see that game come out.
So, you know, I'll be in a retirement home playing Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
So,
Joanna sure does look different now.
Hey, young engineer games.
I remember when I saw the first Perfect Dark premiered for the first time over there on the old Xbox.
Sounds like I'm listening to NLG right now. Jeez.
Wow. You know what? See, the man with the 4.5-hour podcast record.
Still hold that. Me and Dreadpool.
Yeah. You guys were still, that show was still actually on right now.
Yep.
So that was insane. So the only person we have not, I said we've had other people from Xbox Ultimate on throughout the years, but we have not yet had Sister Kaitlin on.
Oh, you don't want me on.
Oh, yes, we do.
Unless you just want my random comments.
That would be. Believe me, that's all we've become now on NLG is random comments.
You have one of the most inviting chats and welcoming shows for sure.
Well, we try. I mean, we try, and you know, without the people that come and see us every week, I always say this.
Yeah, Naked HD is really welcoming. To...
You know,
Naked HD.
You know, Peter, Chris, and I could easily just go into an Xbox party and talk all night. But we love, I mean, it's the people that come and hang out with us every week that make it what it is. And it's like, it's just a big friend gathering for us Tuesday night. So it's nice. And we love, you know, it
used to be Thursdays. You moved it to a new night. So it's working out.
Yeah,
well,
you know, because somebody had to come in and do a show and take all of our people. So I had to move to another night. You know, but
I don't know who that was.
I don't either. You know, assholes. No. No. You know, I said this. I was talking with Spooky a couple weeks ago on his. He did an interview with me, and I said then, I don't take anybody who comes and hangs out with us on our podcast or in our chat or on our show. Never take them for granted, because, I mean, look, I'm pushing 50, and this is kind of a fun hobby for me. I'm surprised people watch me at all.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Great to have you on the show here, and we're gonna get to some fun topics as well. But you just mentioned Kaitlin, first to my heart, lovely wife. What's up, baby?
Hello. Not much. Just hanging out. It's hot as shit.
Yeah.
So just trying to stay cool.
I was outside for like 2 hours today, and I had to it took me about 2 hours to recoup.
I feel like you're still not recovered though.
I'm not.
Fully.
Honestly,
It'll stay with you like all day.
Yeah.
The rest of the night.
Just keep hydrating.
Excited to have brother Mike here. And hey chat, and how you doing, Jasper?
All right.
You can answer the question.
How you doing, Jasper?
I said all right.
Oh, okay. And next up, the amazing realist Jasper himself. What's up, Jasper? How's it going, man?
Yo, it's going pretty good. I was just playing back all day, pretty much.
See, now you can't do that and not do it in your Gomer Pyle voice from here on out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like the Gomer Pyle voice is kind of hard because it's like my natural voice, but then I have to add like more country onto it. So it's like, I don't know.
Just say motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers.
There we go. All right. So you know, we talked last week about doing like some random like streams, power washing streams, and me and Jasper tried this last week, and we were doing power washer simulator stream
like 2 days ago.
Was it 2 days ago? Was it? I don't remember. We tried it a couple days ago, I guess, and you know, it went well. Like, Jasper was a great partner. The only problem is he kept having to leave to go take a shit constantly in the middle of our stream.
Behind the van.
Yeah, like I was trying to. We're doing this treehouse, and I knew it was going to take a couple hours to do, but literally, like he would wash the fence for like 5 minutes and then leave for like 15, constantly. I was wondering what you ate that day. I mean, you didn't come prepared.
It's every
Well,
day.
also, whenever you got close to him.
Yeah.
It's,
Whenever I saw you, I had to take shit.
I was like, why? I don't understand. Oh, that's okay. Anyway, all right. The Encyclopedia Gaming, dating back to the very first game yeah, game ever created, the one and only Pong Soul. What's up, Pong?
We are already way left here. What the
sorry.
hell is going on? Jesus.
This is how we start.
Is this one of those nights I gotta take over like PM in the PM? What are we doing here now? Let's go.
At some point, probably so.
Hey, it's great. I made it on time, which is a rarity nowadays. So this is awesome. And obviously I want to be here because brother Mike is in the house and I've got the shirt on representing NLG. That's right. And it's been too long, brother Mike. It's been way too long, brother. I missed you.
I love the Sega style gamer shirt there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and this is an actual. Hold on.
It is.
It does say Sega on the back.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah. This is
That
one
was-
of my I got it at E3 in like 2000 something when
When Sega first formed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, though, brother Mike, it is great to have you here. NLG was one of the first shows I found when I dropped in this community. Like Mav said, like so welcoming. Just you guys, obviously in your chat, just absolutely phenomenal over there. I don't get to watch you guys like I used to, but man, I'll never forget you guys, and I just love podcasting with each of you. And again, it has been way too long. So, and plus, you guys made me feel really young when I started watching you, which is rare. So that was awesome.
It is awesome.
Why did he agree to come on the show? He asked.
We've been saving it up, brother Mike. You got to come on more often.
It's been a while, man. I got to rag on you while you're here.
No, Pong, it's good to see you. Love you, man. You know that you're one of the best in the. You're one of the best, man.
No, all love and respect, brother. Absolutely, 100%. Thank you.
And we got the faceless one himself, Fuzzy Belvedere. What's up? We did actually see Fuzzy at the FanFest actually on Twitter. So we know what Fuzzy looks like. And Pong was giving him crap before we went live about his no camera thing going on here. But you know what? It's okay, Fuzzy, because we just love the mellow, fuzzy voice that you have and your takes. So what's up, dude?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It's awesome to have Uncle Mike on here, and
oh my god,
I'm not going to harass him. No, it's truly great to have you on.
Actually,
here,
funny because PTK still calls me that.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason why I call you Uncle Mike as well. But it's
I'll take it.
Even though we're not too far off in age. Same thing with Pong here, so we're the older gamers in the group. But it's been pretty unusual this past week and stuff, and man, just busy doing stuff in the background. Got the house to myself and the wife. Got the kids over at the grandparents. So having some nice free time.
Yeah.
What are you doing podcasting? There's more important things to be doing, Fuzz.
Right, we gotta take breaks. Can't. Yeah. I gotta relax. We gotta keep it.
Got it.
We gotta keep
Okay.
it PG, but we also gotta take breaks in between. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is a break. I got it.
Nice.
No, but it's awesome to be here. Can't wait to get into some of these topics. But man, oh man, thank you guys for having me on. Let's get to it.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, we do call Mike brother Mike a lot, but I think Uncle's more fitting because he is about the same age as most of my uncles. So I think that does work better than brother. I don't have
From here on out.
So do I just get to call him like Grandpa Mike or something?
I think
Like-
so.
Yep. I was waiting.
Call him stepdad Mike.
Oh. Ow. I don't know if that's even better.
I don't know.
Stepdad.
Hey, stepdaddy. All right, let's get into some topics here. All right. So, guys, there's some pretty badass stuff that was released this past week here on Xbox and the Xbox world. No, there's not a monumental triple. There's the 9 to 5 keyboard again. Somebody typing away. Like, is Dolly Parton here, like, working a full-time shift?
Dolly Parton? I don't get it.
I don't know.
What is it? Right.
I just thinking of like working 9 to 5 and like tapping on a keyboard like right here. I don't know. It's so loud.
What? That's so weird.
You know,
Turn down your headphones.
Have you ever seen 9 to 5? They're just like I just like a bunch of people in
Yes,
cubicles. You know.
Yes, I've seen 9 to 5.
I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Rat
I
poison.
was 40 when that movie came out.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Times 2.
Yeah, times 2. So we've had a pretty good week without any monumental huge AAA first party game releases this year. I mean, for the middle of July here, we've had a couple pretty big releases for Xbox. First off was a Microsoft published game, for a very first game for an indie studio that was part of my Xbox Game Studios publishing deal with Interior Night. Is that right? It's int.night is how they're doing the logo.
You are correct.
And they created As Dusk Falls, right? Narrative based story, decision making adventure type game.
Visual novel,
right? And you know what? I last week we talked about this game, and I was on the record like I have no excitement for it whatsoever. Like the animation style was annoying to me. It was distracting. I was just sick of seeing it all the time. I'm just like I'm not feeling it. Like, but I said I was gonna try it. You know, it was coming to Game Pass day one. There's no excuse for me not to try it. You know, so I was gonna at least try it. Got hooked. Game's incredible, right? Absolutely love it. Now, I don't know everybody's opinion, but I have seen plenty of people that have the same opinion now that we're not actually really even excited for it to begin with now. So this is a pretty big surprise. So first off, As Dusk Falls here. Great job on the first game from the studio, but I'll go to Mike. Have you had a chance? You said you have not had a chance to check it out yet, right?
Not yet. It's on my to-do list for this weekend though.
Is this a
Game Pass?
Yeah, is this a game that kind of intrigues you? Have you been looking forward to it at all, or has it been like?
No, I'm not. It's a tough game genre for me to do. I don't do a whole lot with the Telltale games, but Last Stop was a game that kind of hooked me, and I played all the way through. But then, like 12 minutes, I hated. So I have a weird dichotomy with these kind of games. So I'm not sure, but I'm definitely going to give it a shot. It's gotten some great feedback, and people who have said, like you, I had no interest in it, played it, liked it. It raises my intrigue level to want to try it myself.
I'll personally go even further than liking it. I'll say that the story is going to be like a memorable experience and one of the best stories I think I've played. I'm only like I'm like in act 1 of the second book right now, right? So I guess I get a little over like halfway through, maybe almost like 2/3 of the way through, right? And it's a huge surprise. Babe, you were watching play, dude. Like, you actually had made me start over because you wanted to make sure that you were there playing the game.
Well,
and checking it out.
I was making dinner, and then I turned your stream on in the kitchen, and I was watching you play it, and I was like, "Oh dang, this seems like a good story." So I asked you if you could restart it in bed, and so we did that like 2 nights ago. And the past 2 nights, I've watched you play it for a couple hours. I think anybody that tries it for a little bit, they're gonna get hooked because the story is so good.
Yeah, that's the key. The story,
you
the
need
writing.
To know what happens next, you know.
The decisions you have to make are so like monumental too, and like have such consequences. Like I was telling Pong this when we were talking about it. Like when I was streaming it, like different stuff happened than when we started over. You know what I mean? And like my decisions had huge consequences.
Yep.
So, like these have drastic changes within the story. I don't know how it all ends. If it like, I'm sure there's like probably at least a couple different endings, you know, on this thing. But regardless of how your journey of getting there, it's like you're creating your own story path, you know. And
I will say that the companion mode on like your mobile device, I downloaded the app to like play along with you. It was really annoying.
Yeah. We didn't really feel that
like it didn't work, or it just like
it worked. It was just
no, it worked, and it was extremely easy to get it going, but like you have to select like say you're like looking around a room for something, you can each like select a different area, and to like the cursor isn't as like responsive on the phone, so it's just kind of annoying. Yeah, and it didn't really feel like it did anything.
Yeah, I don't know how much it added to our experience, right? And more of anything, it kind of
took away.
It delayed the length of the time for the decision making process, right? And it was kind of like, because we did it with me, Kate, and my daughter.
Is that the only way that it works? Is with phone? Like, can you not have like 2 controllers play on the game?
You can do multiple controllers, or you can do phones, or you know, tablets as well. PC, it's all cross play.
I just don't really get it, like what if, like, you know, when you want to pick different things, like I think once we all like 2 of us picked one thing, one of us picked another, and we ended up having to like re-pick something. I don't know, it was just like weird.
Yeah, it for me, like the decision, like it just kind of delayed the decision making process and kind of took you out of the story a little bit more. Whereas beforehand, it's just like make a decision quickly, and you get to the next point. You easily deal with those consequences. And with it having 3 people making the decision, it kind of was like it almost took away. What if like it wasn't what you wanted? You know what I mean? Like, and it's like
the flow of the game,
right? So, but I've heard some people say that that's the only way that they would play this game. That they love that, and I'm like, okay, well that's cool. I personally like playing it. And we can have the same experience with like us watching the game together without necessarily having to be in on the decision making, right? So that's how we enjoyed it the most. But yeah, the story is so good. Decisions are great. Pong, you've been into this game. Have you had any chance to play it any more than what we talked about last night?
No, book 1. I'll probably finish it off this weekend at some point here and do book 2. No, I could not stop playing the first night. Again, I had no intention of sitting down that night and playing it, and then I popped it in, and within a couple minutes I was hooked, and like I couldn't stop. Like I was like, all right, I probably should go to bed now. I'm like, all right, let's just see what this next scene is. Yeah. And then I was like totally back. I was totally just enraptured with this thing. And again, the story, the acting, everything about it, the decision making, and it's not. I think the thing that keeps you engaged is it's not like you're sitting there for like 5 minutes listening to the story and then you get a decision. There's like little decisions all the time, or you know, quick time events that keep you, you know, engaged while the story's going on. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. And to your point, playing it by myself, Mav, like I told you last night on PM and the PM, for me, this is like a really personal experience. I'm making all these decisions for these different characters. It's not even one main character. There's like different characters that you're kind of following along with, and you're making decisions, but I still feel like this is a personal story that I'm creating by my decision making. And that's why I decided from the beginning I was going to decide based upon how I would feel in that situation, or what I think I would do in that situation. And that's really, really hooked me. Like I said, I don't even know if I'm going to go back and redo it for all the different endings, or the different, I should just say decisions, because when I finish this game, I feel like I'm going to be like so satisfied that I created my own story within this game, even though it's all planned out, even though there's only, you know, a limited number of different decisions and outcomes that you can have. It still feels so personal that I think I might just sit back and enjoy that experience for what it was as I played through it. But again, as we talked about last night,
feature where you can select like from the different branching paths. You can be like, I just want to see what that looks like. And you can
I don't know if I want to. Like I said, I don't know if I want to. Like it's really strange, Jasper. But for me, like I'm so just again, it's really strange. It's hard to describe. I'm so satisfied with where I've been through this story so far. that I just don't even know if I care to see what the other outcomes would be. Like, I'm like really happy with the decisions I've made and the outcomes that have happened, even if they've not all turned out good by any stretch of the imagination. But where it's taken me, it just feels really good. And I just, it's very hard to explain. It's very strange because, again, narrative games, like Brother Mike said, hit and miss for me. There are some that I get into. Last Stop was another one that I really enjoyed. I didn't finish it, but I did play probably over half of it, probably 75% of it. But there's few and far between, and some that people really, really like Life is Strange. I can't get into them. I've tried, but this one, for whatever reason, off the charts again. And for the small dev team, this is their first game out the gates to be published by Microsoft, and to have this kind of reception so far. And again, it's not universal by any stretch, and we knew it wouldn't be. We knew this game would be kind of divisive in certain areas.
At like a 76 or 80,
right?
Like on PC on 80, and I think Xbox 76. I think.
Yeah, and I'd probably put it in the 80s. I mean, for sure, but it doesn't matter. I think that for this first game from this team, again, like we talked about last night, man, for me, I cannot believe how incredible the writing is and how they developed all these choices and outcomes, so that very few times as I'm playing, I'm wishing there was a different response. There are very few times I did not find a response that I was cool with, that I was like, yeah, I could see that's a choice I would make, or that's something I would say. That is incredible to me for a game like this from a small team. And so, yeah, and shout out to them, and shout out to Microsoft for, again, being that big publisher who has been really helping indies for a long time. Sure, you're going to get a lot of games that a lot of people forget about through the indies, but you're going to get these gems that come out of nowhere when you support indies like this, and this is one of those to me. So I'm having a fabulous time. I can't wait to jump back in this weekend.
Yeah, at some point, maybe a couple weeks from now, I want to have like a show or a podcast where we talk about our, like a spoiler one, where we talk about our different stories and see like what happened. You know what I mean? What's up, Jasper?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, who was that? Oh, sorry, Mike.
Mike.
Oh my God! Holy shit! Even with the age gap. No, sorry. What's up, Mike?
Wow, Jesus! Oh my goodness. Well, so, Brother Pong, you described a lot of what I liked about Last Stop. And now, what this sounds to me like, now, is there any controls over anything? So you're just basically branching conversations.
Yep, there's no control of characters whatsoever. You're just making decisions what to do in certain areas or what to say in certain spots. It's
Gotcha.
often
it might say like search cabinet or search couch or like search drawer or whatever, where you move them.
Or they're going to give you a list of responses, for whatever character you're currently watching. What they're going to do in that scenario, how they're going to respond, which in turn could change things.
And then there's quick time events too, where you have to act fast.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
So this starts to sound a little bit like Telltale stuff. But I mean,
in Telltale games, you got to walk around a bit. In this game, it's more just like a still image.
Gotcha. Last Stop's kind of the same way. You walk around. There are things you do, but those stories were really riveting. But there's, I don't know. You have me thinking of the movie now every time he does that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's still images, and you're just.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
the still images move every couple seconds, so it's not like you're sitting there like on one scene. It's like that bothered me a lot at first, right? And that's one of the things that attracted me away. But after playing the game and getting into it, it added to the game, because when I click on a decision or do something, I'm waiting. Now I want to see the result, right? And it's like a reveal of what the consequences of your action are each time it slides to a new pane or a new screen or whatever, right? So it's like Okay, I made the decision. So now here's a new image that displays. Okay, that happened, and then there's a story. The voice acting is freaking like incredible. Shout out to Vince, the dad in the beginning, because it's like so relatable. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a regular guy. You know what I mean? It's like voice acting for a lot of the characters are just absolutely astounding. So yeah, it's that ended up adding to it for me, the animation style after, even though it really bothered me to begin with. So that was my main detractor. Fuzzy, have you had a chance to play as Dusk Falls?
Not yet. Like I've been pretty much postponing that one until I get further along in the Hot Wheels deal and stuff. But because I know it's one of those games like with all you guys, it's basically it'll take up most of your time, or it'll pretty much get its hooks in you and keep you there for a bit. So not quite ready to fall into one of those types of stories just yet. Just feel like either driving around or acting like a cat or something like that for right now. But yeah, Dusk Falls, I probably will get to at some point next week or maybe the week after, depending on how far I make it in the Hot Wheels DLC and stuff with the road discoveries and accolades and all that stuff. So
right. Well, man, I think you'll like it, Fuzz. Like I know we all talked about it before, and we weren't really that excited about it. Jasper, what about you?
Watching you play it, it made me like the game. Like some of those concerns kind of lifted. Like watching you play it, I haven't played it yet, but I feel like it's more of a game that I just want to watch someone play. I don't know. Like I don't really want to play it. I just kind of want to watch someone play it. That's kind of how I feel about the game. But
okay, yeah, you can watch this as just a viewer, and the story is that good. You can have a good time. Like watching it.
Yeah, you're too young to play it anyways, Jasper. You wouldn't understand most of the situations, so it's just better to watch adults play it at this point. So
right.
Oh wow.
I feel like it adds something if you are a parent for some reason when you're playing this
for
game.
Sure. Oh yeah. Some of those scenes between him and his wife too. I don't know what you had, Matt, and we're not gonna do any spoilers, but some of the scenes between him and his wife, if you've had real life experience with a partner that you've lived with and that you've had some of those moments before, it adds emotional value to that scene. Just like it does in movies, TV, anything, books, it doesn't matter. If you've had some type of experience that you can relate to, your brain automatically goes to there. Mine's done it multiple times throughout this whole thing. I mean, it was pretty crazy. And I think that's part of my attachment.
Those people with the kids blasting with the guns, just like, get out of here. You're not robbing me today.
Yeah. Well, I think as a parent, you understand more the weight of the consequences of these decisions you're making, right? When it's like, you don't have it. When I didn't have a kid, I was like, fucking hate kids. Like, just get away from me. You know what I mean? Like it's like, you know, even if the kids like me, oh, hey, it's you. Like, let's have fun. I'm like, no, stop, leave me alone. You know? But when you have a kid, you have to learn patience. You know what I mean? More for other people's kids and stuff like that as well. And you like learn like how important that is, how like world changing it is, because everything else, nothing else matters anymore. It's like that is the number one priority over anything. And when you're making these decisions, like when I was making the decisions, like especially my first playthrough, like I kind of regret like the decisions I made in the second, because I was trying to do things differently to see if some of the consequences would be different, right? And they were. And I regret some of those decisions because like the first time I was playing like more of like what I would have done, like in my mind, like trying to be as smart as possible, you know, like trying to be smart to get us out of the situation, you know? And I feel like I made better decisions at that time than when I was trying to play with it. You know what I mean? And I was trying to like, okay, well, I'm going to try and do this instead. And it actually drastically changed the story. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And you can have a different branch within like the first like 5 minutes of an act that completely changes everything throughout the entire story for that entire act. Right. So it's pretty freaking crazy. But yeah, the characters are great. Voice acting is great. I cannot recommend it enough if you like a good story. Right. So we're going to continue playing it. give more of our thoughts. I'll get like Pong together, and anybody else that ends up playing through it, maybe we can discuss the different things that happened and see, like, you know, I want to know like what you did, Pong, and like what happened with your characters and stuff like that. You know, what decisions you made, because I think that could be pretty fun to check out. But guys, that's not the only thing that came out this week.
All right, but what you're saying is that it's not a great first-person shooter.
No, it's not a first-person shooter.
Okay.
Shout out to Boom in the chat. He just stopped by. He says, "Hey, my great friends, I can't stay as Mrs. Boomstick and I are still feeling like a train ran us over. Have a great show, and we can discuss The Last of Us."
Keep getting better, Boom. Keep taking care of yourself and Mrs. Boom. So for sure.
I hope you guys feel better. For sure. Both
feel better, guys.
Both have COVID, under the weather right now.
Oh no.
And Psychonauts is not here. Psychonauts has recovered from COVID twice in the last like couple months, but he is missing today because it's his daughter's birthday today.
Psycho has party COVID.
Yeah, he does.
There's a difference.
he goes out and has fun, and he comes home with some new disease. You know. He's like, "Hey guys,
we love you, Psycho.
I went to a Dave Matthews Band concert and I caught a disease, so I'm going to be out for a couple weeks." So, shout out to Psycho.
We love you, brother.
Yeah,
we love you, brother. We miss you tonight.
Hope you're having a great night tonight, Psycho, if you're out there. Yeah, and also I've seen another thing in the chat I wanted to bring up as well. Somebody was mentioning like Xbox didn't really show it off as well as they could have.
Depka.
Yeah, Depka. Yeah, he said, there it is.
Yeah.
He said, in my opinion, the presentation in Xbox Bethesda showcase was poorly done. It didn't grab anyone. The great game is way better than what was shown. This is a hard game to really showcase because you can't spoil anything.
No, that's what I just said to him too. I responded in the chat. I thought about it, Mav. Like, how could they have done things differently to make this game show it off better? I don't know if they could have done anything different without spoiling.
They could have played like the first act maybe, or not like the act, but like first 10 minutes or something maybe.
Well, the first 10 minutes are some of the worst in the game.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just don't know if there's anything that would have really grabbed people or been able to show the story and how good it is without really getting into it, right? Because there's just man, it'd be a tough one. It'd be a really tough one to do, especially without animation, with the way that it's shot and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like Life is Strange, like they could show off like clips, but there's people moving, there's acting going on, there's all that kind of stuff. Whereas this, like, you just don't get that unless you're actually listening and making those decisions. So I just don't know if there would be a way.
I think you could have played up till maybe the part where like the woman's in the house, where you can tell your like brother, like, hey, there's a woman in the house, or like keep her like by herself, whatever. Like, you could have played up to that decision and been like, and in the video and be like, what did they decide or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough one. Yeah.
It's tough, dude. Like, there's probably certain things, but ultimately, I think that this game's in Game Pass now, right? It's available on everything. PC, mobile, all this kind of stuff, right? But is it actually available separately on mobile, just to play on mobile? I know you can play it on xCloud on mobile, and this is a great xCloud game probably too. You don't even have to download this sucker. But I feel like it's on everything and it's in Game Pass, so I'm hoping word of mouth does the trick for this game, right? Because they had detractors like me. I got annoyed when they showed it 3 damn times at the showcase, right? Because we had it at the indie spotlight show thing.
One of them.
It was at the Cannes thing, right? The Cannes Indie Festival or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was at the Keighley show, and then it was at, sorry, it was at the Cannes thing. Then it was at Xbox's main show. Then it was at the Xbox
Tribeca.
after show.
Yeah.
Tribeca, not Cannes. Yeah, sorry.
But
yeah, it showed it so much. I was like, God, what? I would have liked to see Halo or something else, you know what I mean? But instead, we got that so many times, and I was getting sick of it. Now I'm like, man, they just didn't show it properly, right? But I don't know how they could have showed it properly. Just talked about it, hyped it up, instead of showing it.
They did. They talked about it for like an hour.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. There's probably no right answer with that. They tried to figure it out. I'll say that. But guys, this was, like I said, this was not the only big release for Xbox this week. In fact, on the same day, we had a huge expansion come out for one of the best games out there still, Forza Horizon 5. Now, I don't know who all here has played this yet.
Finished it last night.
Did you?
Yep.
The expansion is $20. It's for Hot Wheels DLC expansion for Forza Horizon 5. And I feel like this should have been marketed more heavily and promoted more heavily. We only saw it really at the Xbox showcase thing, and then we didn't really see too much about it after that. It just kind of launched. And my God, it is like, I'm not going to say there's like a lot of like story or like races to do because of the way it kind of coaches you through there. But the size of it, the size of the actual
It's
map
huge.
and stuff and the different biomes and everything is pretty damn big.
I know, Fuzzy's a big into Forza. Did you ever play the like those Storm Island or whatever in 4? Is it like about that size or is it bigger?
It's
it's
almost
bigger
like 2 to 3 times that size.
Yeah, it's bigger than Storm Island. It's bigger than, I think it's bigger than Lego. It almost
way bigger than the first
I'll tell you
Hot Wheels
I'll tell
DLC.
you what, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't as big as Forza Horizon 2, the entire Forza Horizon 2.
Yeah. It is a sizable map. Like I would say if you took the Hot Wheels from what do you call it? From Forza Horizon 3, this is at least 2 to 3 times the size of that.
Yeah.
There's one, you got the different biomes, but just the amount of tracks and different types of track things. They've added the magnetic tracks now. They have so many more jumps, so many more twists. I mean, it's like, this is better than having like a roller coaster builder type of thing, but with Hot Wheels tracks. Like it's definitely going to take me a while to go through all the roads and things like that. But yeah, it's a good bit bigger than any of their previous expansions.
Yeah.
I know there was like one small detail I noticed. Like, I guess it's like a certain lighting you notice it, but like the orange track pieces, like if you're driving on it, you can see where like the track, like since it's like plastic, it's like melted a little bit in the middle. So it's like just a small detail that's like kind of stood out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of like, just whether it be the specular highlight stuff, like you said, the details of the track as far as the plastic melt, the twisting or crinkles in it, the snowfall on some of the track, like the pretty much like the dusting that they have on like the magnetic track and things along those lines. Just everything is to like the nth degree, but it's like being a grown-up kid playing with Hot Wheels right now, but life size, I guess, is about the best way to put it.
And there's still the ability to drive on the ground.
Yes.
I mean, there's still you can still drive on the surface of the island. It's wild.
You can even get on some of the like the connecting like pieces that aren't road. There's like a secret balloon on one of them, so you got to like explore and like drive on stuff that you're not supposed to be on to find a secret.
Yeah, I found a dragon behind a waterfall because I fell off of the Hot Wheels track, and I thought I was gonna go through the map or something, because like it was such a long fall that I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be like respawned on the track or whatever. But no, I actually just stumbled all the way down there for like 100,000 feet or whatever, and like landed on the ground. I'm like, oh, there's ground here. Okay, so I just drove around a little while, and I passed all these amazing waterfalls. Like if you drive around on the ground level, there's like waterfalls are everywhere. It's insane. And then I heard a dragon roaring. Like what the hell is that? There's a dragon.
A few of those up there.
So I just was like explored, and I went behind this waterfall, and I saw this dragon. I was like, oh, that's pretty damn cool. Like just a little random Easter egg, and nothing happened. I don't think I got anything for it, but it was pretty cool to see that. And then I tried to show Kate and have Kate find the dragon when she was playing, but we could hear but we couldn't find it.
That was the problem. Don't go chasing.
There's multiple
waterfalls.
dragons. There's one in the volcano and one on a mountain. There's like a voice line where it says like Hot Wheels nowadays in real life have like shark and alligators that will eat your car on the track. So we decided to add a dragon or something. Like there's a
right.
voice line for that or something.
Yeah. They have the history things in there. That's pretty cool to listen to while you're driving and stuff. But I'm just like mesmerized by the actual size of it, right? Like for $20, this could be a standalone game, in my opinion. Now,
it could.
For the content-wise amount of cars and stuff like that you get, not necessarily within there, but just with exploration and things that to explore and do, and the size of it, I feel like it's pretty damn massive. And I don't know if they're going to add anything to this with like races over time or anything like that. But I feel like it's getting overlooked a little bit.
It's a cash grab. Yeah.
Cash grab. Well, okay. So, all right, I gotta address this. Okay, so somebody sent me a DM with somebody's like show topics on it, and one of them was like Game Pass charging for extra content.
Oh, jeez.
And
What?
yeah, and I gotta say, like, I've seen some disingenuous bullshit out there, but this one takes the cake, right? First off, DLC expansions like this are fucking, it's not included in the game. In fact, when the game came out, this was sold as like a ultimate edition thing where you could buy extra and you get like seasonal content or whatever after the fact. Same with several other games all the time that come out with DLC or expansions after the fact. The fact that you have to pay $20 for this, plus you also do get a discount if you have Game Pass. It's $17.99 that way. So I'll just like to point that out. You're getting so much damn content here for $20 on top of your Game Pass subscription. If you're fucking complaining about that or trying to say that Xbox is trying to rip you off when you're sitting there promoting a fucking $70 game that's a remake of a remat. It's not even a remake, all right? It's a remaster make, whatever the fuck that is, right?
It's a remaster.
Right. It's to go there and champion
The remake of a remaster.
To go there and champion for that kind of shit, right? To go there and be like, the values, in the eye of the beholder, it's blah 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 blah. Fuck off, right? So we hear that stuff all the time, and people like championing that stuff, like the Last of Us thing, and it's like, what? I understand that you're willing to pay what you want for a game, right? I don't care what people waste their money on. If they want to waste their money on and overpay for something as stupid as a remake of a remake that came out for the third time, that's fine. I'm not going to criticize you. However, don't sit there and champion it and say we should expect shit like this more and make excuses for it when it's clearly like, come on, you're getting, they're taking money out of your wallet here if you actually give it to them. Like, I mean, it's a cash grab. It's a cash grab.
I mean, how many times have you bought GTA 5?
Well, that's your fault. So, now, however, I will say this: the shitty ass GTA 5 remasters that should have never been remade because they were half-assed were not that expensive, right?
You talking about San Andreas or the actual GTA 5?
San Andreas was ass.
Yeah. So, but if you look at, okay, I try not to make this about fucking Last of Us
I will say
remake. But
the only example that I could think where Xbox has done this, and it's kind of iffy, is Halo Anniversary in 2011. They removed multiplayer, and it was $10 extra because Halo 1 was originally $50, and then Halo Anniversary was $60. So, like, that's the only thing where I can kind of see where Xbox maybe did this before.
Yeah, because the Gears remaster, they did $40, plus they gave you all the old Gears games out the gate. Right. So you got all the 360 versions of them, and it was only $40, and it was a great upgrade.
But Halo
right?
2, Halo 2 Anniversary came with the Master Chief Collection, which came with all of the Halos, right?
Correct.
And all of the multiplayer and all that stuff, right? For $60.
Right.
And okay, so Mass Effect Legendary Edition was $60. Came with all three Mass Effects. The first Mass Effect.
There was some missing content.
There's some missing content. You had 3 games in there, and the first game had monumental improvements across the board. Animations, graphics, gameplay improvements, all these different things. And $60 for 3 games. Three games. Now,
and the only things they removed was the multiplayer and one DLC, which really didn't matter. And it was the worst DLC of all time.
And then, Last of Us was already remastered once in the PS4, which was marketed like, well, we're finally going to live up to the vision that we've always had. And now they're saying this shit all over again. Finally live up to the vision that we've always had again. Twice now. And buy it again, please, because you're stupid. right? So that's what they're saying, right? I don't know, right? However,
I'll just wait until it's on the PS6.
I doesn't
then I'll buy it.
Right, so buy it again for the fourth time. I don't care what people spend their money on. If you find it's worth $70 to you, that's great, right? But don't go around and sit there and say that Forza Horizon 5, like for $20 as an expansion, was never included with the original product to begin with, is a fucking ripoff for people that have Game Pass, that got the game for free in Game Pass. Why is it Last of Us fucking remaster edition 2.5, whatever the fuck this is, in fucking PS Plus Extra, right?
Wait a month. They want people to buy it and then they'll put it in there to piss people off even more.
I mean, just seriously, the disingenuous bullshit out there for fucking clickbait topics and stuff is just ridiculous, right? I'm beyond with some of the takes, like the moron out there that was complaining about the $1 Halo Infinite stupid thing, you know, like I don't know if it's entitlement or if it's just like, if it's just disingenuousness, or like Pong always says, intellectual dishonesty or whatever, or it's just you're that brainwashed into believing anything that they say or whatever. But like you can see the footage, right? Like Last of Us, you can see the footage, right? Forza, this is all new content
for free now.
This is all new content. All new content in Forza Horizon 5. All new content, and it's $20.
Peppa Pig's fucking 40, and it's only a 45-minute game.
Right, and I'll say this about Xbox guys who are like criticizing Stray for being 4 hours and it's $30, right? Who's to say like that's not worth it? Also, that game is in PS Plus Extra, right? So like there's a good value there. You know, that's a great that's a good game. You know, whether you like it or not personally, doesn't mean it's a bad deal. But $70 for any game, really, right now, I'm not behind, especially this one, right? So don't go and sit there and champion that bullshit and sit there and say that Game Pass subscribers are getting taken advantage of because we didn't get DLC in Game Pass. Come on, really? Anyway, okay, so
when have you? And that's the other thing too. This is not a new precedent. You never get DLC. The whole point.
I think you did once with like Gears 5 Ultimate Edition.
The Hive Busters, but I don't think the Hive Busters would cost anything anyway. But here's the thing, and most third party. This is why Game Pass became such an attractive proposition for EA, was because EA could sell. I mean, look how much money EA makes in microtransactions and add-on transactions, right? And add-on DLC. So what better way to get you to buy the DLC than to put it in a subscription where you're going to play it and then you're going to buy the DLC? That's always been the case. And then again, Hive Busters, I have to go back and look. I think Hive Busters was a free add-on anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't remember ever not like Forza has been in.
You had to buy Hive Busters, I think, to play it separately. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'll double check.
If you didn't have,
I think if you were an Ultimate subscriber, I think it was included. I think if you were a regular Game Pass, that may have been the only time where you'd have to buy it. But Ultimate, it was included.
But because
and then Gears 4,
like
Ultimate gave you all the DLC as well.
Yeah, with Gears, when they announced Game Pass Ultimate to begin with, that was like part of like their thing with Gears 5 Ultimate Edition or whatever, is that you were going to get all of that, and that's what that was promoted. But that was one game, right? Yeah, and I had confusion. I actually was criticizing Xbox beforehand because mismanagement of some of their like marketing with not being clear on this, because beforehand we had all assumed at that, because Gears 5 had that other games Ultimate Editions, but it became clear, it's been a couple years now, no other game is doing that, right? Yeah. And that's just not an expectation. They're not marketing it like that. It was a misremember on my part that they had ever said that, because I went back and looked in history on any kind of announcements or anything. There was nothing ever that said that. It was just Gears 5, right?
I think it gets a little tricky because like a lot of games now say like we'll give you free multiplayer updates, so people just assume that all the DLC is going to be free. But then when it comes to story stuff, you're like, well, I got to pay for that. You said it's all free, but no, that's just the multiplayer stuff.
And most of the maps and stuff on games are free now. You know, you get like updated content constantly and all this kind of stuff. They do tons of free things. You know, Forza Horizon 5 without getting any DLC or expansions, has updated content all the damn time, right? There's so much stuff to do in there, and even beyond what the devs are doing, you also have the player created content, right? It's become a staple of Forza. It's become a staple of Forza Horizon especially. And also every time I log in is like new season, new events, new things to do, right? And that's all free. It's all free. Yeah. And to sit there and complain about a whole new big ass world you get to explore with tracks and waterfalls and volcanoes and fucking all these new cars and stuff, and you got to pay $20. Like, come on, like really? Yeah. I just don't understand.
Again, this is also not precedent. I mean, I remember having to buy the Lego DLC in Forza 4. I remember having to buy the Hot Wheels DLC in 3. I mean, you buy the season pass. You're not given car packs and season passes just because you're in Game Pass. This is not new. That's the only thing that I don't understand is it's not a new thing.
Yeah, people were trying to say that, you know, something was wrong with Horizon 5 when it first came out. Like, if you were in Game Pass, how come you don't get the Ultimate Edition? And it's like, no, that was the case even with 4. It was a separate thing. Now, for 4, I bought the Premier or Premium Edition or Ultimate Edition or whatever, which included the early access. This go around, I just bought the early access premium upgrade, which include the DLC and the expansions and the car passes and all that. I haven't paid for the game since I'm going to continue being subscribed to Game Pass, and I'll probably eventually pick up the game because they usually take Horizon out after probably about 4 years, and then the new ones are in there. But when that drops down to like, you know, $9 or $5, that's when I'll pick up the complete you know, base game. But yeah, I would say for those that are worried about paying the 20, then obviously they've never played any of the expansions on any Forza Horizon game. To each their own. For me, they're all worth it. Some of them are not as fun as others for me. Like, I didn't enjoy the Lego one as much. I mean, yeah, there's some gratification running through a brick tree or whatever that blows apart when you hit it. But outside of that, the Hot Wheels one for 3, I was more of a fan that they put red line tires, just being a fan of cars from the 60s and whatnot. But you know, if in a lot of cases, a lot of people paid for the early access, so they already own the expansions if they did that upgrade premium upgrade deal. But for those that didn't and are like, you know, hesitant to spend the 20 or the $17.99 while subscribed to Game Pass, just wait, you know, 3 to 6 months. It will probably get reduced, especially during the holidays. They usually do
your Microsoft reward points and just save up for a month.
Exactly. So you could either do your Microsoft reward points, or they'll have like a sale on the upgrade bundle, which at that point the upgrade bundle will probably be somewhere around $25. So you'll get the other expansion for $5 more and probably a car pass or 2. So it'll be more enticing. But to me, it's worthwhile. There's a lot of track, a lot of activities, a lot of cars to unlock. The creator aspect of it, if you want to make your own tracks and things like that. I haven't figured out how to do that just yet, but I know you can do like basically create your own race and then set up the track or the path and all that stuff. But that, you know, that's only for those that are into that. But yeah, it's well worth the 20 or the $17.99 with Game Pass.
I know back in the day you used to have to pay $15 for 4 maps for just random games.
Yeah.
Like, cool.
Yeah.
You're right, 3 maps at a time for $20 bucks. That's the way it was, you know. I know we'd all be craving for that for Halo Infinite right now. Just give us 3 maps for $20, please. I don't care. 50. Just give me more maps.
50.
Yeah, I mean that's a reach. I don't know.
A what?
A reach.
Ha. Halo.
Oh, Halo Reach. Okay.
Mom joke? Was that a mom joke?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's a mom joke. Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
It was a chief joke.
It was funny to me.
Anybody else been? What have you been thinking about Hot Wheels DLC, babe?
Oh, I think it's freaking amazing. It's super fun. You feel like you're on like a roller coaster when you're going like super fast on those tracks. Honestly, like a few times while I'm playing, I feel like a little bit like dizzy because of all the like twists and turns and going upside down and stuff. Because it feels more like a ride than like you're driving.
I agree with that, especially when you're going down into the volcano.
Oh yeah.
There's been a couple times. There's a couple times when, especially when you're playing it on a Series X, and you get, I mean, it's in really smooth 60 FPS, and you're. I play cockpit mode a lot.
Okay, that might be why.
Oh
yeah.
wow! Oh, I could try it in that. I bet it's even more intense.
Yeah.
It gets a little vertigo.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What about you, Pong? You had a chance to check it out yet? You waiting?
Nope, not yet, man. Like I said last night, again, Borderlands 3, I'm addicted. So
where
that between that and then
Borderlands.
Yeah, Borderlands 3. Yeah. I'm doing some of the DLC right now. Actually, I'm doing the Psycho Craig, his DLC, where you got to go into his brain. And so I'm playing that right now a lot. And then as Dusk Falls, when I was downloading the Hot Wheels DLC, when Dusk Falls, when I started playing that, I didn't stop. So no, I haven't had a chance to play it, but I've been watching a ton of video. And again, Hot Wheels to me, again, it was a great DLC. It was a cool DLC, but I just don't get into it that much. But I'm still excited to play it. I re-downloaded Forza Horizon for this DLC so that I could play it. So I'll be hopping into it soon. But everything I've seen and everything that I've been, again, the size of it is what's crazy to me compared to the first DLC that we got, the first Hot Wheels DLC. That's what's grabbed me, because I've seen people, like you guys said, there's all these places to go, and it's not just on the orange tracks. It's not just on the magnetic tracks. You're actually on the ground too. So I can't wait to jump back in there. I mean, I've got, I think 150 hours in Forza Horizon 5 already. So it's like, I can't wait to jump back in and just kind of see what this one feels like. So, but yeah, again, as far as the other nonsense goes, it's nonsense. It's crazy. These people out here, how you can say that when DLC has never been given, was never a part of anything. Mav, you and I had the discussion way back in the day. I think we all had that discussion because when that first started coming up, and people started bringing up, well, didn't they say that you get all the DLC? Yeah. I remember when you and I went and started researching it, right? And we started looking through articles, and there was nothing outside of the gears. Yeah. And obviously that was a memory hold or whatever the case may be at that point, that we just all forgot that it
was a Berenstain Bears situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So Mandela effect is what it is. So I just can't believe that anybody's out here. Again, if you have the opinion that DLC should be included in Game Pass, that's fine, but we already know it's not. This is, like Brother Mike said, there's no precedence here. This has been what's been the norm. So to bring it up in defense or to try to use it as a whataboutism to what people's opinion of the Last of Us remake hybrid is, that's just, again, that is intellectual dishonesty. You know for a fact those two things are completely unrelated. And if you want to argue whether or not the Hot Wheels DLC is $20 worth it, okay, well, I guess you can have that argument, but I think most people would agree when we see some of the DLC. I mean, $20 gets you one armor in Halo at some points, right? So the fact that we're getting this huge open world, brand new map with new cars and everything else from Forza Horizon, it's crazy to me that you would ever have that argument, but that's fine. You could have that stance. But again, this is the clown show that shows up all the damn time, that can't help themselves if their favorite side of things is criticized in any way, shape, or form. Even if it's not just, oh, well, this is dumb, I'd never play The Last of Us 1 again, you're stupid for paying $70. That's not the only conversations that have been going on. Sure, those do happen too, but there's legit criticism out here. So to come back with that is just, I can't stand it, man. I just can't stand it anymore. But I can't wait to hop into this DLC. Playground is one of the top developers out there already. If they pull off Fable, like I said, they will be the upper echelon of developers for me. Again, they've dominated the arcade racing scene now. There is nobody left. Need for Speed has basically gone away at this point because of what Playground's done. And we hope they come back because we all love Need for Speed. But the point is that Playground does nothing but their very best, and it doesn't stop just with the main game. It is included in their DLC. They don't just shovel us some garbage and call it DLC and say, there, we got it out. There you guys go. They go the extra mile. And again, from everything I'm seeing and hearing about this DLC, this is no exception. In fact, this probably raises the bar even a little bit more. And we're all kind of now curious what they're going to do next for the second DLC, because how are you going to top this if it's that good already, right? So I can't wait to jump into it this weekend for sure.
I will ask, how did you feel about the class system, Mav? Because that's something you've always kind of been asking and complaining about Horizon. Like, did the class system work for you in the DLC? Where you have to start out as A class and work your way up to B or whatever?
That doesn't really bother me. I mean, Forza Horizon is such a different animal. It's not like Motorsport where I'm like, you know, I want Motorsport to be like really big progression. You know what I mean? And Horizon's so like silly and stuff. It's just kind of like whatever. I feel like it would have been nice if there was more cars with it than what they're giving with the expansion. If I was to have any criticism, it would be like, I would like you have about 50 Hot Wheels. I mean, that'd be badass. You know what I mean? But like, but other than that, I mean, there's really nothing for me to sit here and critique on it too much for the price that they're asking. You know, I don't know how much the content is going to be once you get through those class systems, right? If they're going to update with random races, kind of like they do and stuff with the regular game as well. Because
it looks like they are.
One issue with DLC is like, because you're like, okay, first off, you have to have the people that play the game, then you got to have the people that buy the DLC, right? So it's not like DLCs usually sell as much as a game does, right? So you have a smaller audience there for when they separate the audiences like that. So I don't know how much, if there's going to be as much player creation stuff, there's going to be as much things. But for $20, I hope a lot of people get this, right? I hope a lot of people check this out, because that's all you got to pay is $20. If you have Game Pass, you have the game, right? It's $20.
Someone just unlocked a Chivo.
Yeah, I heard that. $17.99 actually if you have Game Pass, because it's discounted. So I just can't. For me, honestly, this might be the best thing Xbox releases this year.
Yeah,
this Hot Wheels DLC is that impressive. It is mind-blowingly impressive. It's beautiful. The waterfalls, the colors, the track, the different biomes. You got snow, you got volcano, you got like
Desert.
You got desert, you got water tracks, you got the bumpy tracks, you got the ice tracks, you know, you got the regular tracks, you got speed boost, you know, all these different things that add so much gameplay elements to Forza, plus all the player creation stuff you're going to see made out of that stuff, right? So for me, like this, you could sell this as its own standalone game, and it would have well been worth it, right? And it could have been the best Xbox game of the year by far, in my opinion, right? But it's just DLC, so it gets ignored a little bit. But I feel like it deserves that attention. We just got a $2 super chat from the one and only Lord Roughness. He says, "Hi, Ultimate Family. Great news about Lupa." Yes. So yeah, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but I did mention it last night on PM and the PM, and gave an update on Twitter. Our good friend, family member, Assassin Lupa, has finally woken up as of yesterday. Nice. So that was such fantastic news. You know, it would have been a little over a week, I think, or so since the surgery. And we have just been kind of waiting on pins and needles, waiting for any kind of update, you know what I mean? But don't want to harass her husband too much. You know, like he's got real life, and they're definitely have more serious situations going on. But you know, he was kind enough yesterday to let me know, you know, that she woke up yesterday evening there, and he said he was just so happy. You know, he said she was confused, obviously, about what's going on. I mean, I understand that completely. I have no more information than that right now. You know what I mean? But just the fact that she's awake, like regardless of anything else, is absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to hopefully have her back here sometime. I mean, we don't know anything. Like I said, we don't know anything else about situations or anything like that. So, but the best news was had that she is awake. So that is absolutely awesome. Tony Grasso says,
and thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just saying, and thank you, Mav, for keeping us up to date on that. That's been wonderful to see those updates. So thank you.
I'm just lucky enough to get the updates to be able to share. So like I'm grateful to John for sharing that stuff. You know, keeping us all in the loop and being open about it, so that way we can know what's happening. Because we miss her. You know, we want her back. She's a huge part of what we do. You know, like one of the best people in the community by far. Such an like original person. You know what I mean? There's like nobody else like Lupa really that I've met in this community or in general. You know what I mean? So was one of a kind, and I hope she's back. But
and doesn't just hang out in chats and podcasts and stuff. She games with us.
Yeah, and she even likes to rag on people and stuff too. She's a lot of fun. Like Jasper coming in, she gave him so much shit. Oh man, it was great. You know, because he's a tryhard. You know, like he's coming in there and
I'm not trying.
He was killing her all the time, and she felt targeted. You know, at Halo Infinite when we were playing and stuff, and she let Jasper have it. He was not Jasper. His name was Jackie Joseph. I don't know where she came. She couldn't remember his name at first when he first started playing with this. Jackie Joseph or whatever the fuck your name is. Stop killing me. You little prick.
Whatever the fuck your name is.
Yeah, whatever the fuck your name is.
That's how she would say it.
Yeah. Jackie Joseph, that stupid little motherfucker. Get out of here, Jackie Joseph. Nobody wants you here. Just great. Just like we're just busting out laughing. You know what I mean? It's we miss her. And that's competitive Lupa that a lot of people haven't seen. You know, a great personality, great sense of humor. Also, hey Tony, not Tony, Mike. Tony Grasso says, by the way, the interview with Spooky that you did last week was one of his favorite podcasts to listen to in a long time, Mike. Yeah, so shout out to Spooky.
It means so much, man, and thank you, Spooky, for that. That was awesome. It was an awesome kind of evening to talk games, and one of the cool things that I love about listening to you guys, and Brother Pong. So let me throw some more at you. One of the things that I love listening to you, whether it's PM and PM, whether it's Living Split Screen, whether it's here, is your ability for pulling the knowledge, right? Reminds me a lot of what I tried to do back in the 2000s when I had the site. And I just see a lot of, it's not just the passionate game knowledge, it's the objectiveness that you carry. And it's what, so, as I've kind of moved into this YouTube thing, I'm really enjoying, I've always felt like being able to tell those stories is great, but I've had my time in the sun, so to speak, doing E3s and meeting people and covering games and stuff. And so watching you in particular, it's a great joy to see, the YouTube generation of
journalists. Don't stroke his ego too much, Mike.
Like you're
I'm just saying.
I'm old. I don't know what I'm doing.
I love seeing it.
This is Pong's retirement episode, actually.
I'm out. It's been a great run. See y'all later.
Right. And for those reasons, I'm out.
Well, thank you, brother Mike. Thank you again.
No,
humbled,
absolutely.
honored. Thank you.
No. Jasper, have you checked out Hot Wheels yet?
Yeah, I finished it last night. I got like 2 achievements left, but it's like 4 hours worth of work to get them probably. So I'm like, do I want to do that?
You just can't skip it?
Yeah.
You'd rather power wash something for 4 hours to get an achievement than race for 4 hours to get an achievement?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. So what do you feel about like the DLC in general? Like,
I like the base game better. Like, I don't know if I'm just like burned out because I played so much Forza, like just the base game, but it wasn't holding my attention as much as when the Forza initially came out. I don't know if it's just like kind of tired of the same game or something now, but
yeah,
I liked it. It just wasn't keeping my attention as much as the base game did.
Yeah, I feel like, man, I don't know. It's just so good. It's so big. I was just astounded by the size of it. I know, like
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Hey,
Jinx.
I peeped you, old man.
I saw the size of it and I was wowed. You know, it's ginormous. I was wondering if I could finish it all.
Yeah, you're definitely not used to that.
You know, I'm used to like small DLCs. You know what I mean? And you know, I play with it for 5 minutes and I'm done. You know what I mean? But you know, this has just had so much girth and there's so much there. Again,
it's only $20.
Yeah. I mean, you could take this. You could just take this DLC and just slap it down on the table and.
Yeah. I mean, you could say, look at this. Bam. This is huge. And it's only $20 and it can be yours. It just sells itself
Every night.
We're off the rails.
a little bit. So Fuzz, like this is better as a, like, okay, so let me ask you this. This is going to be a tricky question.
Mm-hmm.
You're a GT7 fan, as am I.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Forza Motorsport fan, as am I. You're a Forza Horizon fan, as am I.
You're a Division fan, as am I.
You're a Halo fan, as am I. But Hot Wheels DLC for Forza Horizon 5, is it better than GT7?
It's different. There are definitely things that are better because
I'm trying to get a toxic conversation going here.
All right, so from a fun standpoint of just like messing around, not like serious racing, like, you know, role playing that I'm a you know, race car driver or something like that. Yes, this is better than GT7 as far as just, you know, playing like an arcade racer. Yeah, by far. Although GT7 still has its appeal because you know, I always wish that I had gotten into
it's
NASCAR
a ridiculous question.
An earlier age and
you can't answer
stuff like that. But no, it's just a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Like for anybody that's just looking for, you know, something fun to play outside of just the regular like Mexico region for Horizon 5, this is definitely worth, you know, at least downloading or picking up type of deal as far as the you know, the DLC. But just started roughly an hour before the show, and I think I already have almost all the roads discovered, so I'm doing the power through it type of deal to try to at least get everything unlocked. And
you're playing it like Jasper plays his games, just power through and no enjoyment, just completionist 100%.
Yep.
Right.
All the billboards are on the land. There's none of them.
No enjoyment.
You know,
no, there's enjoyment, but it's one of those things. I want to get everything unlocked, and then I can focus on either building my own racetracks or, you know, the paint schemes for some of the Hot Wheel cars and things like that. So I want to get what I consider the less time consuming stuff out the way first.
Yeah, I downloaded one of your camos you made for the Willy Jeep or whatever, because I was going to do the thing where you buy the wheel spins because I needed for the wheel spin achievement, but they took off the wheel spins on that Jeep, so you can't do that anymore. So I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, but there's just so much fun as far as playing around on these tracks. Like I got to figure out before what's his name, Don Juan song makes like a like almost like a gymkhana kind of track. I gotta figure out if I can make like a roller coaster double loop jump type of thing. If I can create a race that has that without you landing in the lava type of deal. But yeah, just having fun with it for right now. And then they'll probably continue to add cars. They probably won't add as many cars to the DLC as they will the main game, because they usually have like 2 to 4 cars each season or each week for the main game, and then this will probably only have like 1 or 2 in that same time frame. But yeah, it's just
I think the reason they didn't add as many Hot Wheels is because they have that Hot Wheels game that came out, so they didn't want to put all the wacky cars into this, just because it would be like, well, if you want to play with the real fancy ones, just go play our Hot Wheels.
It's probably a lot harder to model those for Forza too, because I got cockpit views, I got all this different stuff, and like, and as an expansion or a DLC, it's like it would take them years to put in the amount of detail it probably takes to make all those cars individually, right? So I get why it was. I mean, we got some really cool ones, so I have to say. So I'm pretty happy with the selection. What do y'all want for like the second expansion now? Like, are we gonna get another Lego, or like is it gonna be? I was watching Xbox 2 podcast, and they were talking about this a little bit. Because there's gonna be a second one, another storm related one. I mean, we already got like kind of like some ice effects and snow effects and like water effects from this.
Go back to Fast and Furious, maybe.
I kind of want them to go Fast and Furious, but one step further, almost like a Hot Pursuit expansion. Like I want a city map where it's like city streets and some highway, and you could be cops or robbers, or cops or you know, evaders, I guess would be the way to look at it. And just do like, you know, you have to outrun the police to get a certain reward, or you play as the police and get a reward, possibly race for pink slips, things along those lines. But like a city map, so that way you have like alleys, side streets, things like that, so you can try and evade, or if you're the cops, you can hide down one of the side streets and catch the people speeding down the main strip type of thing. But something along those lines would be what I would like to see as an expansion, but it's not their typical type of expansion.
Cool if they added like Baja, Mexico. It's like that like side peninsula off the left side of Mexico. Like if they added that as like a DLC map, because there's a big racing thing. There's like the Baja race, whatever, every year. So like that would be like something they could do that's kind of in reality, maybe.
Yeah, if they do like the Baja 500, like you said, that whole track area that they do for the 500. That would be awesome. Add some of the vehicles, some of the SUVs, some of the I guess you could say almost like mixed breed cars, where it's like a 2-wheel drive that's been made into 4-wheel drive or lifted and things like that, and just pretty much pedal to the metal, King of the Hammers type stuff, and go from there. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to see like a remake of Midtown Madness. That's what I would like.
Midtown Madness. That sounds like something that came out in like
from the
1800s.
Yeah.
No, I remember that. It was an arcade. Was that on the? What was that on, Mike?
Well, I had it on Windows 98. So.
Okay, fair enough. Pre-XP
I'm trying to remember
days.
what. Yeah, it was a Microsoft. It was a Microsoft game before they had consoles, so it was a PC game.
Yeah.
What about so if they did a not a Need for Speed, if they did like a Fast and the Furious expansion, I want like full nighttime city, right? I don't want a Fast and the Furious out there like in the open roads and stuff. I want like nighttime city underground street racing, right?
Well, they kind of did.
Mav, no matter what, you're gonna will into existence Tokyo Extreme. Okay, that's all you're trying to do. Like every time we have this conversation, I want nighttime city driving. You're gonna will it. You're just gonna will it. We both are, because we both want it back. It's just funny how you always say that. It's hilarious. I want nighttime city racing. Let's go.
When people say they want Forza Horizon 5, Forza Horizon 6 in Japan, like we wanted Forza Horizon 5 in Japan, I want it Tokyo.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the next step for Forza Horizon. They've done so much open world, like with country, like road racing and stuff, open road racing. The next step for me is to at least have a huge part of the map to be a full-blown city, right? That'd be sick. That'd be utterly sick. Like nighttime with the lights and stuff, you know, highways racing. You pull up directly behind them, you blink your lights 3 times to initiate a challenge. Right, then you get like rivals that come on with different names, and you have to challenge. I'm 100% describing Tokyo Extreme Racer.
Tokyo Extreme Racer.
No, it's just like it's so amazing.
Well, you could go race in GTA. There's a big city there, and you can make it nighttime.
GTA like racing.
You're not gonna like the fact. You're not gonna like the fact that I hated Tokyo Extreme Racer.
Did you really?
How? Okay, get him off the
actually
show.
going
It's
back-
hook time. Get him out of here. He's old. He's got nothing to give
Say
us.
bye to
Get him
Mike
out of
Bowles,
here.
everybody. We had a great guest here.
It was a great run.
All right, no, I'm sorry, Mike.
It's okay. I'm actually you got me. You caught me. I'm actually going back. Some of my old reviews are on the internet way back machine. I'm going
You
and looking
better
for
not
my
show me
Tokyo
a-
Extreme Racer.
You better not say it was like lower than like a 7.
Come on. Okay, wait. Hold on. How did you
rated Tokyo
how did
Extreme
you-
Racer less than a 7? I will never value any opinion you ever have ever again.
how did you do ratings back then, Mike? Did you break them down by category, kind of like Game Informer used to do, or what did you do?
How did I do them in the old days? So it depends on when I
Okay.
as I morphed. At
Yeah.
one point, I broke them down into categories.
Yeah.
But and then it's when I wrote for Dreamcast HQ.
Yeah.
It was 1 out of 10. When I created NLG, we did out of 100.
Okay. Well, okay, so
now,
Tokyo
hold on.
Extreme.
So
wait.
hold on, I'm going to
Yeah,
show you
yeah.
something because I'm a hypocrite. Hold on a second.
Pong, I learned that I can get I have to figure out the way to do it, but I can emulate the Dreamcast on the Steam Deck. Kei Sante showed me that. And
Yes.
Tokyo Extreme
Yes.
Racer was
Yes.
playable. Both
Fuck
of them.
yeah.
And he said they run flawlessly.
Yes.
Because
I
I
can
have
figure
gotta
this
get.
out.
Because
See,
I'm a
there you go.
complete hypocrite.
There you go.
But
What was your problem
case-
with it?
but the case is broken. So
Oh, well,
Uh-huh.
that's
Well,
why
that
you didn't
happened
like it. It had a
frequently.
broken
That-
tool case.
that-
That's
happened
those,
frequently.
Yeah, those cases.
Yeah.
Open it
What
up.
what didn't you like? What didn't you like?
I didn't like the fact, and it was more along the lines of the first one.
He just couldn't beat it. He wasn't good enough. That's the problem.
I didn't like how small the map was and how repetitive it was. It was just there was no variety to it. You just drove through the same exact track, racing the same cars in the same.
Because it was the
just-
greatest track ever created.
Yeah, it was the highways of Tokyo, Mike. in the big loop. You know,
Well.
you just went around the big loop around Tokyo. You could take different exits and branch off different ways, and you had to. Now,
So
I think if you knew us back then, if I knew you, I would have given you the little teenager Mav when he was playing on his Dreamcast. We said, "Listen up, you cocksucker that reviewed this improperly. Let me give
You
you a
old
tip.
guy.
You old man."
here, you're gonna love this. Hold on, can you? I don't know if you can share this or not.
Yeah, you can share screen. It's the one that looks like the little computer down at the bottom there in the middle.
Let's see here.
Let's see. Go ahead, Mav.
Well, I can share it like this. Okay, so hold on.
22 years ago.
All right, 22 years ago. Damn. See, I was not exaggerating, guys. This guy, he's been doing this since like the wheel was invented.
I actually, so you laugh. I mean,
Wait,
you laughed
what?
about it earlier, but you laughed about it earlier. But yes, I actually did go to the first E3 in 1998.
See? All right, so this is. Let me see if I can't zoom in here. View zoom. Okay,
Yeah, you
your
should be able to-
images
there you go.
aren't working anymore.
Well, this is archive.org, so this is not. And this
Yeah, I
wasn't even
told him
my.
about
This,
that website like 2 days
Yeah.
ago, and he couldn't figure out how to use it. So
A
yeah,
six?
this wasn't even my site.
Is this for 2 or 1? Because 1 was better than 2.
This is for 2. This
Okay.
was for 2.
Well, 1 was way better than 2. Did you review 1?
I'm looking for that review. I'm trying to find to see where that review is.
Okay, fun factor.
Look at that fun factor. Look at what?
Fun factor.
What?
Fun factor, Mike. I mean, fun factor should be at least a 10, if not an 11. And graphics, it wasn't the most graphically appealing game. Whatever. Sound,
No, it wasn't.
It's cars, right? Control should have been.
What control should have been way
up there,
yeah.
way up there, Mike. Come on. Gameplay.
Control is still a
10 out of
7.
10. Underrated. Completely. I'm gonna let's read this a little bit. Now I will have to say I played Tokyo Extreme Racer 0 is what it was called actually on the PlayStation 2, right?
Yes, and it was called Shitoku Battle on Dreamcast, which I do not have anymore.
So I didn't like that as
your
much
YouTube-
as Tokyo Extreme Racer.
on YouTube, it's showing like your desktop and stuff. It's not like a full image. I don't know if you noticed that.
What do you mean?
It's like I can see the whole Restream like website and stuff like on YouTube. It's not a big screen.
Oh yeah. Okay, here. That's better, right? Okay. So I'm just gonna read Mike Mullis's review. Okay. Last year, I got the flaming of my life. I reviewed a game called Shotoku Battle for the import Dreamcast, which is Tokyo Extreme Racing here in America. Actually,
so other people
Tokyo
agreed with us, man.
Yes.
Other people hated Mullis for this too.
Yeah, Tokyo,
I see. Okay.
And he doesn't even have the respect to put the name properly in here. It's Tokyo Extreme Racer, not racing here in America. So you just like disrespected the title right there, Mike. I gave it a super low score, and you people thought I didn't give low ratings, even when I do get flamed. So now we have a
Even
new
when
year
I get flamed.
and an updated game.
Look at those archaic emoji in there, by the way, with his little smiley face.
Yeah, I love it. That's for those that are Jasper. That's before emojis existed. We call those emoticons, right? That's in the day and age when we created like LOL and LMAO and all of those things. We were doing smiley faces and stuff like this.
Yeah, well, my generation created YOLO. Ooh.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Good for you guys. Good for you.
So now we have a new year and an updated game. Unfortunately, there isn't much you can do to the game to make it a whole new game to score. Does that mean I'm giving Tokyo Extreme Racer 2 the same low score? Not this time, because I am scared of my audience because they lashed at me so much for the problems with the first game. It seemed Genki made some improvements and attempts to address some of the big problems I saw in last year's game, but it's still the same premise as previously. You are a renegade underground racer on the Tokyo Highway, challenging other racers, each with their unique car and racing style to winner take all competitions. There are cool things that happen in the game itself, such as opponents and teams with different cars and driving styles, sticker creator and editor, ability to win people's vehicles. So why do I have such a hard time playing this game? Or enjoying this game? Well, two main reasons. One, there's no real distinction.
Read this for you?
And the roads. No, it's okay. I'm just I'm having trouble with the comprehension because the opinion is so bad. So I'm like trying to I keep thinking it's going to say something differently than it does, right? So once there is still no real distinction in the roads, it's still the same old one highway. Now, I will add that they have made the road about 100 miles and gave some exits and new routes to go. But it's still one type of road at night with no real distinctions. But yeah, because it's Tokyo Highway racing, and they don't do that during the day. They do it at night. It's illegal. What? No differences in weather, area, or driving conditions. As you can see from the videos on the night, it looks a lot like the first on the right. It looks like a lot like the first game. After seeing games like Test Drive V Rally and even Mag Force Racing, I like games with different tracks. Yeah, those franchises went on to do great, Mike.
Yeah.
I like
who the hell remembers tracks. Mag Force Racing? Jesus Christ.
Countries, things like that.
Hold on. Test Drive?
Test Drive, I'll give you.
Unlimited was great.
No, and fun fact, my Test Drive V Rally review from this site is on the back of the box of that game. That was my first ever.
Nice.
That was my first ever.
How much did they send you?
Yeah.
Because back then you guys were getting paid.
So Mike,
Wow.
Mike was giving reviews for sponsorships back then. Yeah, I bet he was. I bet he was sponsored by Test Drive V Rally. He had the banner on the website. Test Drive V. And there is some considerable drawing, but again, it's dark. So 60 frames per second also. Anyway, I'm not going to keep reading. This is a very well written, poorly thought out score.
So wait, brother Mike. Wait. So what was your score on the first one then? If you said, is it a 4?
Below a 6.
It was below that.
Oh
my God!
Wow!
Blasphemy.
Oh my God!
So is this about when you stop the website? Is this like when it shut down after those reviews?
Oh, so that wasn't my site. That was somebody else's.
Yeah.
Site.
Did you get doxxed? So the doxing didn't exist back then. I would assume you get doxxed or swatted or something after you wrote that. Review.
Angry fan letters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jason Schreier would be proud of that review, by the way.
It would.
What? Oh, you know what? Fuck you.
do you do you know what IGN gave Tokyo Extreme Racer, the first one?
What?
8.8.
That's why.
Thank you, IGN.
That's why they're the
That's why I
pros.
don't read them.
That's why they're the biggest the news site in gaming.
Aren't you so glad you came tonight?
Could you imagine if you worked for IGN back then and you had reviewed that game? IGN's forever score of Tokyo Extreme Racer would have been a 4. And I may have not bought it. I may have not bought it. I may have never even tried it because I was like, what's Tokyo Extreme Racer? And now it's still one of my favorite games of all time.
Well, I can't help your poor taste in games, Mav.
Wow. Hey, who here's played Tokyo Extreme Racer?
Mike didn't know he was coming to a roast tonight.
Right?
Yeah.
GameSpot even gave it a 5.6 for God's sakes.
Out of 10.
Jesus. Yeah, out of 10.
I think
Ooh,
I
that's
give it
bad
less
too.
than that.
I'm sure
Really?
you did. Oh my God.
Oops.
That is my quote right there. That was my first ever box quote.
Nice.
Yeah, I had. You're right, Jasper. I had our whole screen screwed up on there. I wasn't even paying attention.
I told you, and then you.
My bad. Sorry,
Talk to
guys.
Jiggle,
Technical
but pretty
difficulties.
sure
I was trying to share stuff. Anyway, like. I'm still.
You're
baffled.
done now, Mav. You can't even go on.
I
It's
don't know if I can.
Right.
I'm just
Why-
deciding
wait,
if I want
why
to continue
has-
with this
why-
friendship.
Why has Fun Speculation blocked me on Twitter?
While all this nonsense was going on, I've had a poll in the chat. What did we want to see from the next Forza Horizon 5 expansion? Right? I've been saying for years I would love to see Transformers as a Forza Horizon 5 expansion. Right? I mean, we all put the Autobot logos on the cars and stuff like that at times. You know, you got real life vehicles driving around. People put Autobot logos on them, Decepticon logos and stuff. It won. 39% want to see Transformers, 30% want to see Fast and Furious, 30% Storm Island type stuff, and 0% Lego. Out of 23 votes there. So now it was asked, like I put this in the Xbox 2 chat earlier. I was listening to Rand and Jez, and they had brought up my comment on this, and they were like, well, how would you do that? Now I'm going to say how you do Transformers, right? So you're on Earth. You just got to Earth. You're the Autobots, right? You landed in your ship, and you got to go collect Energon cubes and stuff. You got to drive around. You got to go collect those Energon cubes and stuff. But the Decepticons are flying around in their jets and stuff above you. They're shooting shit, blowing stuff up, and you got to avoid their blast and all these things. Where you go and pick up the Energon cubes, and you got to bring them back to your ship, or you got to get from point A to point B and all this stuff. And then maybe you have like a section where it's like you go through like a teleport or something, and you go back into Cybertron, right? That'd be pretty sick. Or I don't know. Like I could think of a million things to do. You get Bumblebee going in there. You get the voice actors going, so while you're driving, you can hear them having a conversation with each other, right? You get jazz and all these things. That'd be absolutely
Maybe
amazing.
like you land as a Transformer and it's like beside an auto show, so you can scan a car to pick like your first starting out car.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That'd be nice.
Wow. Yeah, I don't expect them to go and model like walking characters and stuff like that. I don't even expect them to do flight. I don't expect them to do jets and stuff, right? Because like I'm asking too much for them for like a DLC that go and add like, oh, make this a flying game now, or make this a robot walking game right now. But I feel like it can be done within the car aspect and still be done right, and I would love to see it. You could even have little cutscenes in there, like with little animated cutscenes or something with them in robot form. Right, and then and then you hear Optimus Prime, Autobots, roll out, and then like you can you have them transform, and then they transform, and then you just start the mission, and then you hear the music and stuff. God, it'd be amazing. Any takers? Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I voted Transformers.
Did you? Okay, so Playground, you've heard it here. If only we knew somebody that's working with Playground at all to get this information across to them. Maybe I should DM somebody. Slip them a note. All right. So besides Forza Horizon 5, Hot Wheels, and As Dusk Falls, another cool news bit we've got is Discord is coming to Xbox. So pretty big news here. It's not done in the most user-friendly way right off the bat, at least. Maybe they're going to improve this at some point. However, it's still the first console to enable Discord chat. Is anybody excited or planning on using this at all?
I thought about it. I don't know why I would use it. Because I was like a primary Xbox user, like you use Game Chat or Game Bar on PC, so it's like you wouldn't use it. So it's like
I would prefer to use Discord than Game Bar, right? But
yeah,
I would have to make all of you go through the process to join my Discord,
like,
right?
Having one person like use Discord and then force everyone else is kind of like you just seem like an asshole. It's like, oh, it's all just using Discord. It's like we're all on Xbox. You're the only one on PC. Just join us. You know, it's like
yeah. So what about for like crossplay games?
That's
what I was gonna say.
Like,
yeah.
And there's
like most people still just play on Xbox that we talk to, so it's like Still's the only one that I know of that plays on PC that's crossplay with us, really.
Yeah, that's
true. I've got folks that I play Fall Guys and Rocket League with that are not on Xbox or PC, and I can't chat with them because they're on like PlayStation or Switch. This does bring that together. I mean, this is a good. The only thing the only issue with it is it's all or nothing. So you all have to be in Discord chat or you all have to be in party chat. You can't mix them together. That would be nice, but you know, with a little coordination with everybody, you can make it work.
Yeah. So the process right now is like you have to, once you get it like linked, which is a process in and of itself with scanning a QR code and stuff, you have to like open Discord, right?
On your phone.
On your phone, and then hit
create a server.
On the phone app.
Then send it to Xbox, and then on Xbox it'll create a separate voice call on Xbox, and then people from Discord on PC can join your call.
Right, and people from Xbox can too.
Yeah, they would have to. Yeah, I guess if one person sets it up, they would also have to have their shit linked too. So I'm not sure how joining.
Because is it a Discord? So it's not like crossing over, but because the Xbox people joining your party got to be. They're joining a Discord server. They're not joining an Xbox server at that time. Right. So
correct.
Everybody joining would have to go through the linking up process, and also, I don't know if they accept the invite, if it just automatically sends them in, or if they have to do the whole app process also.
Another person on Xbox joining it works. Either they have to go on the phone and join the phone call on their phone and then send it to their Xbox, or I don't know if Xbox would automatically make a Discord thing.
Here, what I'm hoping is they make it a little bit smoother and simpler, where you can actually just like open Discord on the Xbox, right?
Yeah.
And then just navigate through the channels that way. And then because I don't, or you just open up Discord and then send invites to people on Xbox, right? Like if I were to open up Discord on my phone or on my PC and just be able to send my Xbox friends list invites and send them, and all I got to do is accept it. Right, and it automatically join that server. That would work as well, you know. But like, I don't know about this whole phone process. How smooth that's
kind of like
go.
The Switch party system right now with the whole Discord call.
Right.
You have to do a bunch of shit on your phone.
Well, the Switch is not even through the system, right? It's just like you're just using Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I mean, not Rotten. What the? I just saw Rotten Tomatoes ad in our Fun Pop DMs. I was like, I got caught. I'm watching John Wick Chapter 4 trailer here while I'm talking, and in our Fun Pop DMs. And no, but they're just using Discord, right? Period. It's not even like anything to do with Nintendo. I don't think, right? Like,
it's their own app. It's not even Discord.
So there's a Nintendo app for voice chat on your phone. Why don't people just use Discord then for Nintendo?
Well, they do.
Okay.
No one uses it.
Right. So no one uses a Nintendo thing, right?
Yeah.
But everybody uses the Xbox thing because it's like through the Xbox. Yeah. So what if they just had like Discord button on Xbox? You click on that and just open up a party and could send people invites.
I feel like that's what they have to get to before it's actually useful. And doing all the extra steps, switching to your phone and going back to Xbox is just there's too much work.
Like they could just make it to where you automatically link a server and then it creates a new channel whenever you start a party.
Or just make a Discord app you download and hit start a party in that, and then it's kind of like Skype in the back end, how it used to be on the Xbox One, where you could just minimize Skype and still talk to people and play.
Whoever streamlines this the best is going to have the most use out of it, right? Fuzzy, are you planning on checking this out? Are you on Alpha Insider or no?
I choose not to do a lot of the insider stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm I guess one of the outer ring things as far as for the insider group. But the thing I would like to use it for would be some of my friends that are on PlayStation that play Division or something along those lines, or for anyone that's not on Xbox or PC for Insurgency or something like that. But I don't think the crossplay is on Insurgency just yet. But it is for the I think it is for the Division, just not cross progression yet. But that would be about the only time it makes sense for me.
Yeah. I feel like we have a Discord server, and like if I could like somehow make it easier for people in the community that or whatever to find people that way, I could see it useful for like community aspect as well, right? But then
looking for group.
Yeah, but Xbox already has their community thing. I don't really think people utilize it as much. Really, it's kind of like, we got these groups and community things that people make, and they've seen an invite, but I don't ever see any people interacting with any of them.
It could be another way it could be useful is Xbox party chat's limited to 16 people, and I think Halo lobbies are 24 or whatever, so you're missing out on 6 people. So if
Battlefield too, right?
Yeah, so if you had a big private server on a game, you'd have to go to Discord because that's 100 people calls instead of 16.
Right.
Or whatever.
So that's a good point, man. Because we try to do Battlefield community nights and stuff, and you're only really able to communicate with 4 people. Because when you get that many people in a party, 16, even the party starts glitching out within Battlefield because it gets confused with everybody in the different squads and stuff. So that's a good point with Battlefield. You could have a huge Battlefield game going with 100 people on Discord playing through the Xbox, and people could just utilize it through the Xbox and not have to go separately.
So if you just have PC people, you can play with Battlefield on PC too. So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the biggest benefit. You're right, the amount of people. Because I can't think of many other benefits right now.
Yeah,
unless it's
especially
crossplay.
For content creators, having community nights. I think that you'll be able to see people do fun streams and stuff with their community now.
They just still got to make it simpler because right now hey everybody, we're gonna do fun speculation community game night tonight. We want we're gonna get 50 people, and we used to do this a lot earlier days of Xbox Ultimate. We used to play every Friday night after the show, and we would get huge parties sometimes. The parties would be full. Sometimes we split up into two parties and stuff, and it started getting a little crazy, and chaotic and stuff. So if you had Discord, it could help, but I can't imagine getting everybody to go through that process to join the server. So it's got to be streamlined, because I couldn't imagine, hey guys, you come and join us, but you got to get your phone out, and get your first you got to open up Discord, then you got to go to your app on your Xbox, and then eventually you can join us through this, and I don't want it's kind of instructions, be able to play games with people.
Listening to Rand talk and describe it today, I was I knew it was complicated. We talked about it last night, Mav, but when Rand described it, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm I got lost halfway through.
I'm hoping
but once you get it set up, once you get it set up, then it's just ready to go anytime you want to use it, right? You don't have to do that each and every time.
Well, you don't have to do the whole QR code thing every time, but you have to start the server on the Discord app. Which is not on the Xbox. You got to start the server on your phone. And then you hit a button, and then it opens up the Xbox app. And then you got to hit something on the Xbox app to enable the party. And then you can invite people to it, right?
So only one person has to do that, and then they can invite everybody. As long as everybody else has got theirs set up, their Xbox set up. See, that's my question.
See, there's a fact. I just put an FAQ in for you guys to look at. It's huge. I mean, it's way too complicated to have to deal with all of this just to set up something that you're going to use maybe when you're cross-playing.
Right.
Right. See, I'm interested in it to see if I can streamline it for community stuff. You know what I mean? Other than that, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like how much.
It's also going to get annoying because every time someone new joins, be like, "Well, do you got Discord set up? Oh, you don't. We first set up Discord, then download the phone app, then I'll send you an invite." It's like just.
Yeah.
Okay, so how to connect my Discord account from Xbox?
If you've already have your Discord account linked, you have to also relink it now because it's a new thing.
Yeah.
Like I said.
So there's linking, which is a whole process. And then there's the setting up, right? So, okay, how to display connect? I don't know. Well, we'll see. I can't wait till it's out of Insider to really get a test, and I hope they get some good feedback during the Insider process, right? And then maybe hopefully make it more streamlined. But it's something that I think is still a good first step, you know, and it maybe will over time be improved, right? And I think it's going to get some use. I don't know about how much widespread use until it's streamlined, though. All right, let's see. What we got one more thing that we want to talk, or two more things I want to talk about real quick. Next thing is Ubisoft. Jasper brought this up before the show. Me and Pong talked about it last night. I wanted to get Fuzzy's take on this too, and Mike's. But Fuzzy, like Ubisoft has just canceled 4 games.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon Frontline, not disappointed about that. I don't really care. Then also they have also canceled Sam Fisher, Splinter Cell VR, which I personally don't care. Then 2 other games that are unannounced. Where I think that matters is necessarily kind of like what the hell they've been doing, you know, working on these games. Like 2 of them they just recently announced, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden now they're already canceling them. And then also a few games were delayed, right? It's not a huge deal to me.
Avatar.
You know, like Avatar's delayed. Give it more time if it needs more time. It is what it is. Same thing with supposedly there's what was the other game that was supposedly delayed? Assassin's Creed Rift. It may have been pushed back internally. We never got a release date for that yet. Still.
Yeah, that's gonna get revealed apparently in September. So.
That was another part of the leaks that came out. There's supposed to be more mobile game announcements coming, as well as the future of Assassin's Creed and
may
stuff.
Have been some of the ones that were canceled too. Some of those mobile games.
Well, those are supposed to be the new announcements happening, and their like announcements coming up. So with their announcements of or they didn't announce this, was like leaks, right? With the cancellations of these other games, and then they're now announcing more mobile games and stuff. And we got some of their bigger games getting delayed. What's going on at Ubisoft? Fuzzy, do you know?
I wish I knew, but the best that I can think of, and I had joked about this in the DMs, is that they'll probably be acquired by the time Avatar is actually released or something. It just seems like they're spiraling. I won't say out of control, but they've had games in development. How was it Beyond Good and Evil, which that's supposed to be, I guess, shown here soon. It's already in playtest or something. Then you had Skull and Bones, which just recently,
finally revealed,
released or unveiled again, and given a more, finite release date type of deal. Still no word on a Division 3, and they got a skeleton crew working on the Division 2 as far as support. No more real word on Homeland or
Heartland.
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 Yeah, it just seems like they've bitten off more than they can chew, and now they're trying to figure out, all right, what things can we close down and what things can we keep going type of deal, as far as either to save some money or to not overspend or overextend themselves. Some of the directors that they've had before, like one of the main guys from the Division group, I don't know if he was specifically a Ubisoft massive guy or if he was with one of the support studios that works on the Division, but he left not too long ago because he was like, I'm overwhelmed here. It's like they have us pulling off or trying to pull off 2 or 3 things at once when we don't have either the resources or they're trying to draw the resources to these other things. So it just seems like upper management. I'll say it's more of an upper management thing than their dev studio management, but it just seems like they're I guess they lost their direction. I don't know. Or maybe that it is time for them to be acquired and have somebody come in there, kind of shake up the upper echelon aspect of it, and then kind of get them back to making good games again and getting on track to releasing them on a regular cadence type of thing. So
yeah,
it's sad to see right now, kind of.
Mm-hmm. I agree, man. First, before we keep moving, I gotta give a shout out to Alvin. Thank you so much, bro. He gifted 5 memberships to the channel. So shout out to everybody who received one. Again, for people, this is like a new thing on YouTube. It's been here for about a few weeks now. When you see that pop up, there should be a little icon that says like allow gifts. If you want to be a chance to get gifted a membership, when those things pop up, you got to hit that icon. Yeah, it seems like they all were working that time, and they've been working out the kinks YouTube on this stuff. It seems like it's working better and better. Shout out to Mike, has gifted quite a few memberships on this channel as well, and I remember he was the first one that did it, and it didn't really work right. So like, it seems like it's working better. Appreciate everybody and all the support, all the channel members who check out all the content, everybody in the chat. I want to give a shout out to a few people in the chat too as well, specifically Alvin again. There's Jeremy Brown, what's up? Dr. Dinglenut, Chris Jones. I was asking if we're gonna have a stream later. I think so. I don't want to guarantee it, but I may be playing something later. Sin, what's going on, Sin? How's it going? Infinite Umbro stopping by. Jesse B, Nola Origins, Vic Click. Let's see, you got Skywalker UAV as well. Abacab, Back from Dead. Shane, Lord Roughness again. What's up? Def Leopard. So many awesome people. Andrew Cullinane. It's Timmy. Let's see here. Tony Garasso again. Absolutely amazing chat, guys. You guys freaking rock each and every week. I appreciate all of you. If I didn't get to you, I'm sorry. There's a lot of names to scroll through here, but I love when I see the chat active. You guys make it worth doing for 98 episodes. That's for sure. So getting back into this, me and Pong talked about this last night, Jasper. I was save him for last, but Ubisoft. What's up, man? What's up? Like, what's going on?
I think maybe now they've had a lot of launches where they haven't been as successful as they wanted to, and they've been getting a lot of negative feedback with their decisions they've been going with their games now. I think maybe they're finally starting to evaluate the press that they're getting and be like, hey, our formula's not working right now. Let's make some decisions, let's make some changes and try to get this company back on the right track. I don't think we should be worried about them. I don't think it's acquisition time for them. I think they're just kind of reevaluating internally of what they can do to get back on the track for their community and
maybe taking it back. We're only going to launch 2 free-to-play games in the next year instead of 4, right? Something like in that regard, maybe. It's interesting. I'm a little concerned, just not because of like, if they get acquired, I don't even care, honestly. I mean, I think it's probably a good thing if they do, but if they don't, then I think we'll be okay too. But like, my main concern with them is like dilly-dallying with these like random projects all the time and not just making the stuff that they should obviously know that people want, right? And then it's like, what have you having your employees like do? And now the employees are fine, they're getting paid, but like,
I think they're finally learning that they're like, where they've been just kind of shotgun approaching, like, we make this free-to-play game, we make this a microtransaction heavy game, like one's got a hit. I think they're finally being like, none of these are hitting, like, what are we doing here? Let's actually make something.
Yeah. And maybe they're recognizing a lack of interest from these announcements. Like, nobody's talking about them, nobody gives a shit about them. Like the insider programs that they've launched and had people test is like a lot of negative feedback from a lot of people. Again, I've had an opportunity to play on some of the games. I know that some of us here have as well. We can't really say what we've played and what we have not, or what our specific opinions are of said things. All I'm going to say that I wish X Defiant was on the list of cancellations. but it
Yeah,
is
they could
what it
rework
is.
it.
They could rework it, and it could be a completely different thing, right? That's what it needs to be successful. It's something completely different than what it was, right? So we'll see. Mike, are you concerned a little bit about Ubisoft at all, like with all this news coming out about cancellations and delays and stuff?
I don't think anybody is going to shed too much of a tear for Frontline being canceled. That was a bad idea, and I think somebody went into Eve's office and said, "What are we doing?" I mean, it was a free-to-play MMO that was going to be microtransaction, heavy, and no one wanted it. So them canceling that is actually, to me, not an issue. The Splinter Cell game, would I have liked to have seen Splinter Cell on VR? Yes, but at the same time, unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know that making it an Oculus exclusive was the right way to go there as well. So,
yeah, my big
I
concern
think
was
those
the other 2 unannounced games.
Yeah, but we don't know what those. Yeah, but
if they're trying to save money, that's an IP you don't want to like buy out and be like, well, we can't take the risk of buying out Star Wars right now, so let's just cancel that.
Yeah.
I would like to know what the 2 other unannounced games are, but I'm not. I don't know. What will concern me is if Skull and Bones flops.
Well, it's $70, and it's like a game that a lot of people thought was going to be potentially like a free-to-play type model game. Nobody really knew what it is, and this is the first Ubisoft game. It's going to be $70. It's $60 on PC. Do you think that's going to potentially hinder the ability for it to be successful with a new IP, such a high asking price for a brand new thing that doesn't have a huge amount of excitement over it right now? I mean, it seems like it's set up to flop.
Well, the part of that issue of the lack of excitement is the fact that most people, including me, thought the dead game was dead. So, I mean, it's looking at it. What's interesting about that game is looking at the game and knowing my experience and a lot of my friends' experience with Sea of Thieves makes us excited for this game because it has the things in it that piss us off about Sea of Thieves. So, or it has the opposite things of the things that piss us off about Sea of Thieves. So I was, until the price, wanting to give it a shot. I think, yeah, $70 is not going to help it, especially if people then go, well, wait a minute, why is it $10 more on console than it is on PC? That's a dumb move. But if that flopping plus not knowing what Assassin's Creed is coming down the pike, then you start to get a little concerned. I don't know if I'm quite concerned just yet.
Valhalla made $1 billion, so I think it's all right.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. However, I do think that they are setting themselves into place to be acquired.
I don't know if that's necessarily by their choice, though. I mean, they are in a place to be acquired, but that's because their stock has plummeted so much in like the last year and a half, right? They were worth about in the chat. Nola was saying Google's saying Ubisoft's worth 5.2 billion market cap, right? They're worth more than what the market cap says, but their market cap's about like 5-6 or whatever. I check it frequently because it keeps going down, and just about like, I think it was 2 days ago. I think it was like $6 something per share, and a year and a half ago it was like $23 or $24 per share, right?
Yeah.
And their market cap is down about a third. I mean, 2/3 of what it was. So, I mean, they've legitimately lost a lot of value as a company, but they still have the same amount of, like, mostly the same amount of employees and stuff, right? So and they had keep like dilly-dallying with these different projects and IPs. Hyperscape was a flop, right? They had made Far Cry 6, which I'll say Far Cry 6 was not their fault that it was criticized like it was. You know what I mean? Far Cry 6 was a great game. I think sometimes they just can't win with people because they make a game that's like fits within their IP and is a next evolution of that, and then people are like, well, you can't, it's got to be different, you know. And then like they like have all these free to play things and they keep trying to bastardize these IPs, right? And now they're canceling those. I just don't know what their direction is, right? But I don't think they're in a good shape. I think they're trying to stave off an acquisition.
Like, anytime they go in, either they stay the same, people bitch. If they go in a different direction, people bitch. So it's like, what can they really do?
Well, they got to stop releasing things like Watch Dogs Legion that was not very good and like very gimmicky with like the ray tracing at launch and stuff. You know, it was broken at launch. The game saving was bad at launch. The only successful game they really launched that was ultra successful was Valhalla, and even that didn't receive the praise that I think they were expecting, even though it's doing really well monetization wise. Assassin's Creed they're doing fine with, right? It's like everything else.
I think they did Immortals, Phoenix Rising. That
was pretty.
That had a lot of good press, but I don't know if it sold as enough.
It probably didn't. I don't think it sold as well. You know,
and they got Mario Rabbids coming out.
There's a reason awesome. Their values plummeted like this, right? It's like,
well, I mean, also like it's just the market too right now. Everything's kind of going down.
And don't forget, this is not the first time. It wouldn't be the first time that they've had to stave off an acquisition. Vivendi just about affected a hostile takeover on them about a decade ago, and they were able to fight it off, but that was back when their stock was much higher. I mean, the Guillemot family, they don't want to give the company up. It's kind of a family-ish run company. They like that kind of they're like royalty to that family. To that brand. Now they're not full owners, but that together they are, they make up all the board. They make up the majority as a family. I don't know. Eves is getting on in age. Who's to take over if he retires? I mean, they're setting themselves up for somebody to take a run at him. And I would not be surprised if this time next year they're not owned by Embracer Group.
Yeah.
Oh, Embracer Group? Okay.
Yep.
Out of all of them, I wouldn't see that one coming, but like I think.
I would.
Yeah.
Embracer is they have been. Well, they remember these guys bought Gearbox, and then now they've got Crystal Dynamics, and it's
so
kind of their natural
they're gonna take that
evolution.
next step and let's see who's the most obtainable big publisher. Why are you smiling, Pong Soul?
Did we just step into speculation town, brother?
Yeah, I think so.
My favorite place.
Yeah. Well, remember like was it like 2 months ago or something? I can't remember exactly when. There was like news about them potentially like preparing the investors for like we're open to listening or something like that.
Yes.
Then it came out after that they were potentially approaching or have been approached by an investment company that wasn't really related to gaming, right? And that was potentially a partner they were seeking out to have potentially stave off an acquisition or something, but there has been no news from that since then.
At this price point, man.
Yeah, at this price point, it's a pretty cheap deal for Ubisoft.
who just beefed up their legal team today?
Sony.
Yeah. PlayStation has a partnership allowing them to continue to publish, just like they're going to do with Bungie, allowing them to be autonomous. The perfect partnership for Sony to jump into at a great value price. Yes, it would cost them more than obviously what they're valued at now, but to gain control of those IPs would be a counter shot to what Xbox has been doing, and it's within their range. And it would be huge. It would be a gigantic chess move on their part to take advantage of a situation, much like we just saw Microsoft and Xbox take advantage of Activision Blizzard. It really would put Sony in a really strong position. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that news today that they're beefed up their legal team was Ubisoft. Like that's what they're gearing up for, because they know they're going to be under scrutiny for a move like that. But it's the perfect price point for Sony. They can't do everything that Xbox does, but when a deal like this comes along, sometimes it's just too good to pass up. And to have control of all that IP, that's a big deal, especially with their movie making and everything else, brother. That would be gigantic for them.
Yeah, they would have the Clancy brand. You know, they would have all of that stuff, and that also ties in with like the Clancy movies and stuff. I don't know if they would they have access to the Clancy movies? Do they own the rights to that, or
I
don't know. Do they?
Because I think when they got the Tom Clancy thing, they got the movie rights as well. Because that was the whole hold up with the Division movie, if I'm not mistaken, with them trying to choose a director and all that stuff. I think Ubisoft has the wherewithal to be able to do that with the licensing that they had ever since, because I think they basically got rights to books, movies, and games with it.
Yep.
So
shit on him.
What about Amazon?
Yeah, I mean, Amazon can jump in at any point. Any point they can jump in and make a big splash.
You know, if they really wanted to make that next step, they've had a couple successful MMO type games launched now, right? And they have some different type studios and stuff. But if they were to go out and get, okay, if we do this, we're gonna have Assassin's Creed for Luna, like, you know, like we get all of a sudden get another subscription type tier with the Ubisoft Plus, all this kind of stuff that they already offer, but then they'd be making the money on it instead of Ubisoft and everything. They could implement that into their tiers and things like that. And I mean, I'm not saying I want Amazon to get them or whatever. That I would not actually be wishing for that at all. However, at the price,
that could buy them. Like
there is,
EA could jump in. Like,
Tencent could do it, you know.
Epic's been buying people too.
Yeah,
I don't know if Epic, maybe Tencent. I don't see Tencent going after it's not their style.
Yeah,
but it would help with their
free to play stuff.
Without it being conspiracy theory territory. It would help their propaganda move as far as American IPs and something that's book, TV, and movie related. So
yeah,
it would help one of the agendas that they're trying to move into without it looking like they're, you know, acquiring like but not necessarily a TikTok or something, but that type of deal. But I kind of saw Sony as being the ones that would grab this, even though I don't want that to happen, because Division I prefer playing on Xbox, and it could probably
it could be a situation
Xbox,
like Bungie though, where games would remain multiplayer.
Yeah.
That'd be part of the concessions they'd have to make, like Xbox is with Call of Duty as well. You know what I mean? So
and think about it now with Sony's service too, their subscription service. You got an instant catalog that you can throw in there that all of a sudden starts to look a lot like Game Pass. It would be a very impressive move, and it's the first thing that I thought of too, Fuzz. It'd be incredible.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I think I wouldn't necessarily like mind if Sony bought Ubisoft. Like, I personally, what I want is whoever's going to lead them in the right direction.
Nintendo,
right? No, it's not. They have so much damn talent at Ubisoft that is being squandered right now. And that's the frustrating thing. They have so many employees and some of the most talented devs in the world, all making, when they make something, it's usually really solid, it plays really well, all these things, and minus Watch Dogs Legion, things like that. But they're usually like, wow, this is like a really big ass, a really cool game. I'm usually not unimpressed with a Ubisoft game. You know what I mean? Like, usually like, wow, okay. Now, but we're seeing all these things in the background of like we don't know what the hell they're doing, you know. So if they could have somebody that's just like, hey, we want to make a new Splinter Cell, we want to make a new Rainbow Six, we want to make a new The Division, we want to make a new Ghost Recon, we want to make a new Rayman, right? We want to make a new what games you say, Jasper?
Hawks. Tom Clancy
Hawks, yeah, let's go. Tom Clancy
Hawks.
Hawks. Tom Clancy's Endgame. Let's bring back the RTS genre, Clancy verse. You know, do more Star Wars stuff, Avatar stuff. You know, all these different things. You know, and really take advantage of that. What's the Snowdrop engine, right? Utilize it, and man, whoever gets Ubisoft is getting a lot, right? And maybe they can fend for themselves, but right now they are in a very obtainable state. And
Sony would also make sense because Sony has a big presence in Europe, and so does Ubisoft. So I think that would go well to strengthen that even more. Like,
yeah. Although now all I can think of is Assassin's Creed Hyrule.
Right? you want it to be a Nintendo, Mike. So then we'll end up having to play Clancy games on a Switch. That's great.
Rainbow Six Platoon.
Yeah.
At 480p.
Right, in 480p.
Let's go. Personally, I wouldn't be excited for that. But Nintendo would never do that, first off, right? But there's somebody out there that would. And Bracer Group was interesting because I don't really think of them as like, you know, as that, but you're right. They have been making bigger moves, you know? So that would be the biggest move they've made. I can't believe how low the value is right now for Ubisoft compared to the other major publishers out there. Pretty crazy.
Also, Facebook's kind of a player because they own Oculus, and so if they may want to start making more VR games. So,
well, here's the thought too. We've heard a lot of things about EA is looking for a merger partner, right? But they want to be in control is the issue, right? So, like, what if EA and Ubisoft get together?
EA Soft.
Yeah, I said that a long time ago. I said that would be a powerhouse. That would be another solid move for both of those companies to combine forces, because then they would be pretty much untouchable. They would position themselves as one of the biggest publishers in the industry with some of the most valuable IP out there. It really would put them in a strength position for both companies. It would make total sense.
And a very diverse catalog too.
If their management
each have their own subscription services right now, so they could kind of merge them into one.
Could merge them in, it would be much more valuable from that standpoint, but much more enticing to people to make deals with them. And their management styles are kind of similar. They're kind of in the same boat, which is not necessarily a good thing because they've both been lost a lot over the years. But maybe that combination of both of them, maybe they could figure it out and make it work. That would be a great move. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, we've heard several reports. The EA has been calling everybody like, "Hey, what about a merger? We take control." You know, like they've been calling everybody. It seems like trying to get this done. So I don't know. Maybe that could work. That would be the like, without them being acquired by Xbox, because I know all the games would be automatically in Game Pass, right? That would be like the best case scenario for me, probably, just because I feel like. A lot of things would be the same, but we would still get more use out of their big IP. Because one thing EA does is they stay behind their big IP, right? And also Ubisoft does as well. But they're also not afraid to make new things either, right? And try new things occasionally. So shout out to Chris Jones, $2 super chat. Says, don't forget to follow Mav and Kaitlin on TikTok. Yeah, especially Kaitlin.
You had a $10 one earlier.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, I have like 3 TikTok videos out there. Kate has like 1,000, I think, already. I don't know how. But Kate's TikTok, Kate's TikTok is incredible. Chris Jones with a $10 super chat. Thank you as well, Chris. And he says, always love Xbox Ultimate, one of the most welcoming families, even though someone doesn't play JRPGs. Cough, JK.
He's never gonna let that die.
I know. Always love to see Brother Mike as well. One of my top 3 shows. Fire. Yeah, thanks, Chris Jones. I appreciate it, man. And I do play JRPGs, you asshole. But I appreciate the support. All right. And maybe not as many lately. I'll say that. Maybe not as many lately. However, there's a couple coming out that I'm actually looking forward to. You know, and I was actually looking at gameplay of, I don't know if it's Live Alive or Live Alive or Live Alive or Live Alive or whatever the hell that game's called. It looks pretty.
Live and let die.
Looks up my alley a little bit, so I might be checking that out. Anybody that's also does like tactical, like fantasy games, like RPG stuff, check out Disciples Liberation. Man, that game is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I had no idea. I didn't even know what it was. I got it in the game sale. It's fantastic. So that's not, I don't think that's Japanese developed, so I can't call it a JRPG, but great game.
No, it is not.
It is similar to some JRPGs though. I will say that. Very similar to some. And the one last thing I wanted to discuss, guys. Now I think Jasper and Fuzzy, you've seen quite a bit of this out there, is the Forge leaks on Twitter for Halo Infinite. We've got some new information here. This is going to be a game changer, you think? Big time?
Yeah, you can like make your own like scripts to control stuff. Like there was one where he made like a ship fly over the middle of the map and drop fusion coils, so you can make bombers. They also had one where he tied a fusion coil to respawn underneath a wasp, so every time you flew a wasp, you could drop a fusion coil and make the wasp a bomber instead of just shooting stuff. So there's like cool stuff like that. You can also magnetize vehicles together. So he put a Banshee on a tank to try to make the tank fly. There's one where he had like the overshield thing where you like pop it in your chest and like you apply overshield, but instead of applying overshield, it makes you fly up in the air a bit. There's so many like wacky and creative things you can do in this. It's like, it's going to be
stuff that's never been in any Halo before with Forge. Also, they kind of showed a little bit of the like server browser, like custom game browser and stuff from that today. I saw, and it seems pretty expansive as well as the options. I think when Halo Infinite Forge mode comes out, and then we're also at that point the full launch of campaign co-op. Again, I've said this numerous times. It's like the real release of Halo Infinite multiplayer in a way. We'll also at that point when Forge releases, will be season 3, so we'll have hopefully at least a couple more maps as well by that point, developed by the team. Plus you got all the community creations that will flood into there like crazy, right? And no more content shortage problem when the community has been taking over the duties.
We just gotta
right?
hope 343 implements some type of searching feature for that or something, instead of just letting it, whoever owns that content, just host it and be lucky enough.
Right, they need like a search for custom games type thing, right?
Or some kind of matchmaking, Forge matchmaking to like.
Well, what they did in the past is they looked out for the best Forge maps and they just added them into the game, right? So they could have a separate playlist with just community creation stuff. Yeah, that it could be
like
something as well.
Feature of the week or something.
The problem is I don't have the biggest faith in 343 right now to do that.
Have you seen this stuff, Fuzzy? Like, been leaked on Twitter quite a bit.
I saw the what was it, Upside Down World, the Stranger Things thing that the guy created, and they've had everything from like the resizing stuff to the what Jasper was talking about, the magnetizing stuff, and I think at this point that will be their biggest source of update content on a steady cadence. Not knocking them, but it will just be something much like what we have in Forza now, where you can add those into the mix, like the highlighted or the featured content, either content creator in the game or map in the game or mode in the game each week, and then have it where maybe you get some XP for completing that, or at least having a match on that particular map type of deal. If they add stuff like that into like the what do you call them, the whole routine, then that will definitely help things, and allow them more time to focus on either campaign DLC or any of the updates and season stuff that they want to do every 3 months down the road type of thing.
Also, like I was saying, the thing where the ship fly over and it drops fusion coils, it was tied to a button. So like if you just start doing random stuff like that on a map, you just like hide a random terminal in like a corner and you hit a button and then some ship flies in and drops bombs, or just like it spawns a tank in or something, like you can change like just the basic maps we have now, and just like randomize it for each individual game. Like how Battlefield is trying to do that with the tornado to come in every now and then. Just do that in Halo, but like make the button do something different every time you play it, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I think it's gonna be crazy what the community comes up with all the different Spartan abilities too now, right? You can make maps that utilize those abilities in different ways for like the fun game modes that people make.
You can make your own abilities. Like imagine popping like an overshield thing, but you like get really small, so you're like a 2-inch Spartan running around or something like that.
Right. You can make your own abilities.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
yeah, you can customize and link together abilities. You can do all sorts of things.
Because you can make your own scripts and code with it. So
yeah,
you can do anything.
It's insane.
That's why I said on a 3-Bits post today, I said we're eventually just going to have Halo Call of Duty, Halo Battlefield, Halo Spider-Man, Halo Skyrim. We'll have Halo Fall Guys. We'll have Halo Hades. We're going to have a version of everything, because once the community, if it's as expansive as it's looking, there's no limit to what this community is going to come up with. Trust me, it's going to be insane. Like I would not doubt we get a Halo Elden Ring at some point with a Souls-like ability. I just, again, if it's that deep, and from what we're seeing just on the surface with these, leaks or whatever you want to call them, glimpses of what it's going to be, then yeah, man, some of these people out here in the community, my God, again, you see what Bethesda does. They hire modders, right? So if they have those kind of tools available for people, we're going to get some crazy ass stuff in here, and it's going to be fantastic for Halo overall. And it's going to take some pressure off 343, which is obviously needed right now, because they are going through a lot of transition. A lot of people are leaving right now, and obviously Joseph is bringing back some of the old school people. So there's a lot going on within 343 right now. And I think that this Forge could really, really do some wonderful things for Halo overall and give it some life. So for sure.
Absolutely. Which Power Wash Simulator has apparently passed it for number 4 played game on Xbox right now. Which I can't say that I'm surprised, because Power Wash Simulator is absolutely amazing. And there's so many things to wash.
Pong, when are you going to start washing stuff?
Never. Never. All the games, again, I shout out to everybody who loves Power. It's obviously very popular. It's very popular. Simulation games have just never done anything for me whatsoever.
Me neither,
with
man.
all the other games that I've got to play, there's no way I'm going to pick that over my backlog. There's just no way.
You're missing out, Pong. I'm just telling you right now.
That's okay.
Not even for achievements? Come on.
Nope, not even for achievements.
I mean, you missed out on the 2021 game of the year. You missed out on 2021 game of the year with It Takes Two, because it's not for you. Don't miss out on the 2022 game of the year with Power Wash Simulator.
Right now, the 2 game of the years for me is Elden Ring and Power Wash Simulator. Those are the 2 that I've been like, I can't stop thinking about. I got to get back on it this year.
It's insane. Mike, have you partaken in the power washing?
I have not partaken into power washing. I am not I've been doing work like outside for real. I can't come in and pretend to do this thing.
Yeah,
that's physical effort you got to put in.
Just hit the trigger. In fact, they make it so easy you don't even have to hold the trigger. You can just hit left on the D-pad and let go, and it automatically sprays. So I mean, they don't even make you tire your finger out. You know what I mean? So when you're done, fingering, your controller, it gets tiring. You can take a break. You can put it on auto finger.
If only that worked.
As it should, because how many hours would you be fingering for? Because you told me last night some levels are like 3-4 hours.
Sometimes you have to finger it for like 4 hours to finish it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a cramp waiting to happen right there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget about the auto finger button.
You say a crap waiting to happen?
Cramp.
Cramp.
Cramp only when it's Jasper. Now I say it like I will say once you've been fingering for 4 hours, it can get pretty wet. So like you want to make sure that you make sure you just use some soap, after, and get it nice and spotless.
Yeah, that multi-purpose cleaner. If you got a multi-purpose surface, use that. You got a stone surface, use some stone cleaner on that.
Yeah. I mean, it's they have different sprays. For the nozzles, you can get different widths of
Red
sprays.
tip is the most powerful. White tip is the widest.
Well, I have white tip. That's one I like to use a lot.
It's weak though. It's a weak tip.
It's not about the strength. It's about the girth and the width.
How would you know, Jasper? You were taking a shit the whole time, according to Matt. So
That's because you don't have to hold down the trigger to do the thing. You can just hit, finger your D-pad and then go take a shit.
Yeah. Well, every time I look around at Jasper, he's gone. It's weird, man. I was just trying to get a guy to help.
Listen, hey,
I was trying to get a guy to help finger stuff with me. It's like,
okay.
Every time I was like, hey, Jasper, you want to take a turn? He's like, no, I got to go take a shit,
Sometimes I come back to the job and be like, got to take a shit again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It's okay,
You kept talking about your deck, and I was like, I want to hear about your green deck. He's like, I got to wash it.
Well, I did got to wash my deck. It's a huge deck. It needs lots of washing. Jasper. I mean, you got to clean the underside of that deck. You got to clean the top side of that deck and make sure it's spotless,
You kept using white tip on your deck when it wasn't powerful enough, so you got to switch to yellow tip.
I did switch to yellow tip, and then we couldn't find the last little spots on the
Listen,
deck.
motherfucker, I take shit, and I'm supposed to come back and take
All right. You're right. I'm sorry. It should be more sensitive to your incontinence. So we had a lot of fun playing. Yeah, I really enjoy Power Wash Simulator, for real, guys. And I've considered a career change. I'm going to Power Wash for now, for life. But I'm only going to do it fake on simulation streams on YouTube. No real labor here. We're just going to do fake power washes and live our life that way. I think it's going to be the right move. You think we can go full time with that?
We may have to get a side business like car mechanic simulator or truck driver simulator. I think truck driver simulator.
There's only so many hours in the day. I mean, maybe you can you can mow the yard and then I'll power wash it. Not the yard. I won't power wash the yard. I mean the house.
We should probably mow first and then power wash. If you get the grass on the house, you got to power wash.
You're right. You won't even have to blow. Yeah, I can just power wash.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Any other takes on Forge, guys? I don't know what the hell we're talking about now. I'm sorry.
Can you power wash in Forge?
You'll be able to make it, brother.
Somebody will come up with it, brother Mike.
The warthog comes back all dirty from battle, and someone's got to clean it.
Oh my God! Can they get a warthog in there?
Maybe the power washer could be the machine gun turn, but like a plasma rifle, so it's like constant, like looks like water and is a constant.
Isn't Power Wash a console exclusive, Mav? Isn't Power Washer a console exclusive to Xbox?
It's on PlayStation, I think.
Is it?
Is it on PlayStation? Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you should probably hit up somebody at Microsoft and say, look, we need a warthog in here. You guys got to get together and partner up.
They got. I want a Pelican. I want a warthog. I want
a Halo edition. Yeah, DLC. Just Halo DLC.
Master Chief there. Just have him stand there. I'll wash him. You know what I mean?
And put all of 343 on it.
Yeah. Yeah. All of 343. Guys,
he's a dirty boy.
Right now, stop making season 3 content. This takes precedence. This takes priority because this is the number 4 game played on Xbox right now. Put some warthogs and pelicans and Master
Can you imagine the podcast out there with that one? Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
343 making DLC for Power Wash.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the expansions we could get for Power Wash Simulator now. Can we get a Hot Wheels expansion?
Yeah.
It would work.
Power wash all the Hot Wheels cars and clean off the tracks, and that would work.
Okay. Let's go. All right.
Acquisition season. Who's the dev?
Before they actually had a Halo map.
What was that, Jasper? I can hear you underneath Pong's typing.
I said they had a Halo Infinite map to Power Wash Simulator before they had a Halo Infinite map to Halo Infinite.
Wow, that'd be right. Like we get to go Power Wash like Lockdown or something.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Future Lab. Phil, go get Future Lab now.
Hey, those guys are great. Yep. You know, they know how to wash stuff. You know what I mean?
Published by Square Enix, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is published by Square.
Yeah.
And it's a Game Pass game day one,
Sony.
right?
I'm surprised it's not
I'm
on
sure
PS
Sony.
Plus.
I'm sure Sony looked at this and said, "We're good."
And it is a console exclusive right now, by the way.
Is it?
Oh.
It is a.
It's only on PC and Xbox right now.
It is a massive PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass success, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's getting a lot of playtime out there, like way more than it would have. But it's also the #2 rated game of all time on Steam.
Wow.
With overwhelmingly positive reviews. So that's what I read anyway. I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw it on Twitter, so it has to be. But somebody said that it was a #2 rated game of all time on Steam. Power Wash Simulator. Let that sink in. All right, this is show.
Paul won't play the #2 game of all time.
Yeah, I won't play #2 game of all time. I forgot what the #1. I think the #1 was Lawnmower Simulator.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. All right, so again, chat, you rock. Thank you all so much. We don't have anything else to talk about. We were going for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and Mr. Mike there, because he needs to get his nighttime sleep. He wakes up at 4 a.m, like most old men do, and
Gets the newspaper.
he gets the newspaper, goes
Gets
down
the
to
newspaper.
he goes down to the diner in town and sips on his cup of coffee and reads the paper and then starts telling the people about the good old days. So Mike, where can everybody find you, sir?
Everybody can get the hell off my lawn.
Love it.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, first and foremost, thank you guys. This has been another great night. I always love coming here. Xbox Ultimate has always been my start to the weekend. So always being able to come on and chat with you guys, and Jasper and Fuzzy, it was nice to be on with you guys. I think this is the first time I've been on with you guys, and Sister Kaitlin, we're gonna get you on NLG. It's gonna happen.
Let's do
It's
it.
gonna happen. See, aha! We have that recorded now. So, speaking of which, so you can find us on YouTube at the original Next Level Gaming. If you punch in Next Level Gaming and search, you'll find us right there. We are now on Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. Me and Chris and Peter, and we always have a lot of fun, and we always have great guests on. Mav and Pong and have always been gracious guests, and we love having you guys on. And Pong, will get you on again soon when you've got I know you are a man about town. I don't know what shows you're not on.
He gets around a little too much.
Yeah, I know. So
Not so much anymore. Now it's work, real life.
yeah,
Oh man.
well, real life will do that to you. I hear you, brother, because real life has gotten in the way of it. But I just put out a video today for our channel members that I've been working on for like 3 weeks because I just hadn't had time to. So I totally get it. So you can find me there on Twitter, NLG Mullis, and our official NLG Twitter is OG_NL Gaming. Xbox is Stinger NLG. PlayStation is the original NLG. And Switch, you will never find me. Because I don't.
You don't play on the Switch? You don't do the Switch?
I don't play on the Switch.
Yeah.
I don't. Switch is not something that I do. So.
That's cool.
My kids have it.
Yeah.
I can't get into it.
Viper XT says if you haven't tried Bright Memory Infinite, give it a go. It's only $20. I might give it a shot. I don't know. I've been thinking about it. Lovely wife Kaitlin.
Yes.
Where can everybody find your amazing TikToks?
Well, I don't know if I feel silly because I don't know if anybody that watches this would even give a crap about anything that I post, but if you're into food and cute things, then you can follow me at Kaitlin_fancy and on Twitter at KaitlinX0615. Thank you, Brother Mike, for giving us some of your time tonight. It was awesome having you. And the chat
Pleasure's mine.
was amazing as always. And
Absolutely.
the panel. What's up?
I saw your fancy ass salt and pepper shakers you got.
Yeah, those are cool, man. They actually work really good.
So cool.
Yeah, they take 6 batteries apiece. Those.
They do. 6 a freaking piece.
Yeah. That's like the.
But I bet you they're gonna last forever. Those batteries.
Maybe, I hope so.
Depends on how much Mav wants to use them, because he thinks it's fun.
Anytime I eat food, I'll probably salt and pepper it, so that's, I'm not gonna like over salt it just because I like the salt shaker. I don't think. Jasper, where can everybody find you, sir?
Lord Jasper on Twitter, Lord Master Jasper on YouTube. Yeah, FSP is Monday at 10 o'clock on the Fun Speculation channel, and Xbox Ultimate is Friday at 9 o'clock on Fun Speculation channel. That's where I'm at. That's what I do. So check that out.
Awesome, man. The always fuzzy one, Mr. Fuzzy Belvedere. Where can everybody find you, sir?
Just want to thank you for having me on. Thank you to Mike, Uncle Mike, for being on and putting up with all the roasting. But man, it was fun having you on here, and always fun being on here with you guys and everybody in the chat. For anybody who wants to hear my ramblings on about anything gaming related, just follow me on Twitter at @fuzzy_Belvedere. On Shop Podcast with Pong and PTK Blam tomorrow at 9 p.m. on PTK Blam's channel. FSP on Monday on Fun Speculations channel with Psychonauts, Lore Master Jasper, and 3-Bit. And back here on Friday on Xbox Ultimate at 9 p.m. once again with the family. It's awesome.
Right on, man. Appreciate you as always, Fuzz. And we got this encyclopedia of gaming guy dating back to the very first game ever created, Pong Soul. Always giving us amazing thoughts. Where can everybody find you, sir?
Did you get Jasper?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
getting old.
All right, good.
He's
I
going out.
wanted to make sure you weren't going after me because obviously Matt promised you that you weren't going to have to follow up after me.
Yeah. Don't worry, Jasper,
is...
I got your back, man.
This has been awesome. The show started left, we ended left. That is what's always amazing here. Obviously, shout out to brother Mike. Just obviously an honor and a pleasure, sir. And your kind words tonight again. I don't take compliments very well, but thank you, sir, for all of that and just for joining us here on Xbox Ultimate. And you've been gracious in the final time you will ever appear on Xbox Ultimate. Because you exposed yourself for your Tokyo Extreme Racer.
Oh, man, that's blasphemy.
Terrible review. Okay.
Yeah.
Not once, but twice, sir. That's it. It's done. It's over with. It's been a great run. So thank you all. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. And I take back everything I said about you during the show.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Good. Anybody who would write a review like that, I wouldn't want a compliment from anyways. How about that?
Wow. You have to cut off the association.
You allow everyone to have opinions, and you that is.
Yeah.
They're like assholes. I know.
Everybody's entitled to a dumbass, stupid opinion every once in a while. You know what I mean?
No, Mike, it's been fantastic. Thank you for taking the roasting, man. We were just having a good time. Love you, brother.
Always.
You know what it is, man. All respect to you and everything that you guys do over at NLG. You know that. You guys are just fantastic. And I always suggest that everybody goes and checks you guys out whenever I can, because you guys, again, the most welcoming panel, most welcoming chat there is out there, and you guys have been doing it for a long time, and the knowledge you guys bring is fantastic to listen to. So thank you, Mike, again for sharing your time here on Xbox Ultimate. We are definitely graced by your presence, sir. So appreciate you being here. Family, you know what it is. Love you all. It's been a great night. Lots of laughs. This is the best way to spend Friday night. I'm sorry for the typing. I don't know why the mic's picking up the typing tonight. I have the softest keyboard in the world.
It's okay.
I know, and I've been trying to remember to mute myself, but thank you for putting up with that.
Massive, heavy, dense fingers.
Is that what it is? No, that's not what it is.
You've always secretly been playing Power Wash. He's getting those muscles built up in it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm getting my fingering down. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Listen, chat, you guys were amazing. It's awesome to see everybody back in here again every Friday night. Appreciate you all. The chat was lit tonight. You guys are fantastic. You know, we have nothing but respect for all of you that come out and follow any of our shows, no matter where it's at, no matter who you watch. That's a big part of this community, and we love you all. So thank you for that. Continue, please, as Mav talked about before with the update with Lupa, the positive energy, whatever it is, thoughts, prayers, keep her in your heart. Continue to do so. It's a long road ahead for her, obviously. But this was the first step towards getting back. But please continue to do that. And thank you for doing it in the past when we've asked you to. She's just an awesome, amazing, phenomenal human being. And we just want to see her get healthy and back on track again. So thank you all for that. Otherwise, you know what it is. Follow me, Pong Soul, on Xbox, on Twitter. I'll follow you back for sure. And then obviously check me out tomorrow morning with my brother from another Steel Rain, who dropped by earlier to call us all hookers in only the way that he can do it. So check us out tomorrow morning on Living Split Screen. We will wake you up. So set your alarm now, get those reminders on, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Living Split Screen's all one word, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, 3 p.m. UK time, BST time, whatever that is, tomorrow morning. Be there, tell a friend. We are on mission 1K for that. And then tomorrow night, like Fuzzy already said, I will be on the Shop podcast over on PTK Blam's channel. As always, the best show to end your Saturday night on, and bring some questions to the chat. PTK does it a little different. He opens up the second half of the show to the chat. You can ask any questions you want us to talk about, anything, and we'll talk about it. So bring those on in. We're going to have the one, the only, the incredible Kay Asante on tomorrow night. He is now done shooting Halo. Obviously, they're going to start the second season here soon, but catch him now because he's got free time. So he's going to join the shop tomorrow night. And then, of course, Tuesdays, Xbox Factor podcast. I won't be on this week. I don't think it's end of the month for me at work, but you know, Mr. Boomstick is the man. Double Barrel Gaming is the channel for all good things green over there. Hopefully him and Mrs. Boom are going to be feeling better. Right now, it's not good. He stopped in here earlier. They're feeling like run over. They got run over by trucks.
Yeah.
But hopefully they're both back next week, and hopefully we will have an Xbox Factor podcast. Always a great panel, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Thursday night, right back here for PM in the PM. If you didn't catch last night's show, go check it out. Mav and I covered like 4 topics, I think, last night, but we just had a great time catching up with each other, catching up with the chat, and talking about the news this week. But it's always happening on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time right here. Otherwise, we'll be back next Friday night for Xbox Ultimate, of course. Again, always remember, it's the golden age of gaming, people. It really, really is. So enjoy it as much as you can. And get out there, play something that you love what you play. And I'm going to talk to you all real soon.
Yeah, everybody, what Pong said. Do that.
Why were you smiling?
I was thinking about stupid stuff. Huh?
Can you say?
No, probably not. Like, I was thinking about our like Power Wash Simulator conversations and stuff.
Oh, jeez. Well, why was Jasper smiling too? Are y'all DMing?
No, I just think Pong's intro is funny because it's so long. It's just like it's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You think you'd be used to it by now, Jasper? Come on.
Yeah.
You can never get used to that.
I say it
that
along
perfect
with you in my
outro.
head, word for word.
Yeah, it's perfect, spotless. You did the other day. You forgot one of your shows though.
I did. I forgot the shop. I couldn't believe it. I skipped right over the shop
It was
podcast.
like the first time. It was like
first
Pong
time.
made a mistake.
Yeah.
And there's
Look,
video proof.
I'm going to blame the sunburn that I got last weekend.
Yeah.
My brain's still not right.
Yeah. That's why you weren't here last week. You were burnt to a crisp. You know.
Yeah.
You drained
Yes.
from the air show that you
Yes.
put you out for the week. You know.
Yeah.
But,
it was terrible.
So, but glad to have you back, Pong. And Mike, again, so gracious to have somebody like you here on the show with because I respect you so much, and you've been so welcoming early on. And your show, like I said, has when I first saw it originally, I was like, wow, this production level on this show is like so good, and like you had like such a great community and great panel and everything. And you guys are just still going. You, Peter, and Chris are some of the best people in the community and absolutely still love what you guys do. So again, I just wanted to say appreciate you as well. So
I just tend to gravitate towards good people, and you guys are all good people. Mav, you've done such a wonderful job with your channel and with what you do. And I also, it's really funny too, just on a side note, that I could be laying in bed and my phone buzzes at 3 a.m. and it's you playing something.
yeah.
So,
Well, when you feel a little buzz in bed, just know it's me, Mike. At 3 in the morning, you feel a little tickle there. You know, Mav must be playing with
I
something.
walked right into that.
It's Mav.
Don't worry about it.
It's Mav fingering on Power
fingering.
Wash. Or
It's
that's
Mav
what it is.
fingering his controller.
Mav, stop finger blasting that wall. I mean, water blasting.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Anyway, hey, that's it for the show, guys. Chat again. You rock. Take it easy. Have a good one. Bye.
Play on, gamers.
How's it going, Jasper?
Later.